The Canadian National Anthem is in the books. We're ready for the gold medal matchup here at Willoughby Park in Langley, BC, home of the 2022 CCAA Men's National Championships. My name's Corey Basso, your play-by-play man, soon to be joined by Michael McCall, my color man. He's just in the finishing stages of wolfing down a panini between bronze medal and gold medal matches. Get in there, Michael. Get in there. Humber Hawks taking on the Seneca Sting in an all-Ontario clash for the gold medal. Of course, the Nomad de Montmorency of Laval, Quebec, taking home the bronze medal just moments ago. Let's get you the starting 11s. First, for the Seneca Sting, who are going in all black strip today. Numerical order: Anthony Gurrieri in net, Steve Janjicek, the number 5, number 6, Atif Ali, number 8, Imran Abdul Latif, number 9, Rashad Griffith, number 10, Alex Lewis, number 11, Payman Sultani, number 17, Adam Othman, number 19, Aaron Toniolo, number 21, the pacey Francisco Thomas Saros. Last but not least, number 26, Joel Alain. They are led by head coach Patrice Geisar. The Humber Hawks, who have been on an absolute roll, not only in their home province, but at this tournament as well. They will dress in all white. They are led by head coach Michael Aquino. In goal, Holger Shameta. Number 2, Keegan Wilson. Number 5, Alex Mekzarski. Number 6, Osman Hussein. Number 7, Abdul Aziz Babawale. Number 18, Federico Leal. Number 9, Damian Kay. Number 10, the Danger Man, who already has a few man of the match plaudits to his name here at the tournament, Luca Uccello. Number 11, Cadell Thomas. Number 15, Danny Medeiros. And last but not least, number 19, Luca Pinto. A bit of a mismatch on the score sheet on paper, Mr. McCall. 1, are you done your panini? 2, what flavor was it? 3, are we going to see an upset here?
1, yes. 2, turkey with some raw onion in it. So enjoy the commentary for the rest of this one as I breathe that towards you. And I think we could see an upset here. Seneca definitely heading into this match as the underdogs. These two teams met in the Ontario finals just a couple of weeks ago, and it was a big 4-0 win for Humber. But you're looking at a Seneca side that had been unbeaten all year up to that point. They had got 50 goals. Yes, Humber had hit 56, but these are two teams that know how to score. They know the way to the back of the net. You do wonder, though, how much those two tough games for the Sting has taken out of them, because they were made to battle for this spot in the final.
Yeah, 2 different routes to the final, Michael, and you said it pretty well there. Humber Hawks, 10 goals for in 2 matches. They are running the show as far as offensive play. 2 big wins for them in their encounters. Whereas on the flip side, Seneca Sting, 1-1, both penalty kick victories. So not inching it through, but cutting it about as close as you can while still getting a victory. We'll see if it's the stingy play of the Seneca Sting or the forceful power of the Humber Hawks that prevails here. We're now underway. The gold medal matchup, an all-Ontario affair here at Langley BC at the 2022 CCAA Men's National Championships. 8 degrees it's picked up to, sunny, but if you're hearing papers flapping in the background, it's because a little gust of wind is picked up, carrying towards the broadcast vantage point. We'll see how it affects the matchup. It looks like the Humber Hawks looking to get off to a fast start.
I mean, for me, Seneca have to come out early in this and try and take the game at Humber. If you can get the first goal in this, it's a whole different game. If you are trying to chase a Humber side that's given up 5 goals in the regular season, it's not an easy task.
And that being said, this Humber side have also given up 4 goals, or I beg your pardon, 3 or 4 goals alone in this tournament. So we've seen that they can be scored on. Les Rouges de Saint-Boniface actually off to a lead against this Humber squad. So as potent as they are in the attacking third, Luca Uccello loops one over the net there. Good first look at net from the number 10. Bright orange boots for the Humber Hawks. Good start from them as well, but going back to my point, they can be had on the back, can the Humber Hawks, but you feel that the Seneca Sting might need to be lethal in their finishing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the chances for Seneca may be few and far between, so when they get them, they have to fully capitalise on it. We've seen Humber, though, get off to a little bit of some slow starts, but they've got so much danger just leading that line that it's like a three-headed beast. You cut off one or even two of the heads and you've still got somebody there. You've got Kay that scored a hat-trick in his first game. You've got Uccello, who's the CCAA Player of the Year, and you've got Cadell Thomas, who's won 2 CPL championships. That is a formidable front three, not just for CCAA, but just across Canadian soccer. I
think the Seneca Sting might really have to rely on the pace of their front three as well. I'm talking about Rashad Griffith, the always busy Francisco Thomas Saros, who just conceded a foul. And, of course, the other player, Soltani, and Alex Lewis as well, can also be a handful. You saw them there almost pull the strings on a very slick counterattack. And we'll need to see more of those from the Seneca Sting, who don't want to get pigeonholed into that St. Trojans category where they had bundles of glorious chances but just couldn't find the back of the net, and it ends up costing them.
The thing with Seneca, though, is the longer that they can keep this game 0-0, the more it kind of plays into their hands as well.
Yeah.
Because Humber know that they're heading into this as big favourites, and they headed into this tournament as big favourites. And you mentioned that first game. I had the pleasure of calling that Le Rouge de Saint Boniface game, and Saint Boniface showed no fear. They hit 2 goals after going down to a 4th-minute penalty and just came storming back to lead 2-1. So it shows that this is a side that can be breached.
Good dribble by Payman Sultani. Thomas Saros gets crunched from behind. It's a healthy two-hander there from Danny Medeiros. Taken quickly, though, for Seneca. Here comes Francisco Thomas Saros, who is in the middle of everything promising offensive-wise anyways for the Seneca Sting. Very busy, the bushy-haired number 21. Here comes a chance for Alex Lewis. Oh, he played it across the area, and it was met by Rashad Griffith. And you can tell by his reaction, he knows he should have done better there. He was flying in there like a locomotive, and the ball was played at some pace, but a point-blank header, first real chance of the matchup, goes a-begging for the Sting.
Absolutely. I've got to say as well, yesterday in that semi-final, or Friday in that semi-final, Alex Lewis was absolutely phenomenal for Seneca, and he could be one of the key guys. Him and Griffith, they need to find that link-up play. They need to get something going together. But that was an encouraging start for Seneca, and here they go again.
Payman Sultani, who's had a very bright start to this one, floats a ball to the back post, looking again for Rashad Griffith, and you have to feel for the Seneca Sting. They are playing against a very bright sunshine at the moment. This broadcaster is struggling to read the numbers on the west portion of the field if you're looking left to right on the broadcast vantage point, but Payman Sultani there able to almost pick out an inch-perfect pass for his number 9, Rashad Griffith. Good play so far from Seneca, looking to use that Michael McCall game plan and take it to the Humber Hawks early.
I mean, it does feel that if they want to ruffle some feathers, let's get on the score sheet. That game that we've referenced with St. Boniface, it was 2 balls through the middle that did the damage. So I'm sure the Sting have watched that. The Sting are obviously very familiar with Humber from over the season. They play in different divisions, but then they met in that championship game, and it was a big 4-0 win. It took Humber, though, till the 24th minute to break down a Seneca Sting side, and then they hit 2 in the space of 4 minutes that kind of put them in cruise control. So even if they go 1 down here, Seneca, as long as they keep it tight, they're still very much in this game to the end.
The Hawks now in possession. Luca Pinto. Osman Hussein. Great little through ball from him. It's helped on by Uccello. It finds Babawale near the corner flag. Babawale cuts back to his left foot, rakes it across. Chest down, will it be a goal? Oh my goodness, that's about as close as it comes. Too close for comfort. Joella Lane, though, the number 26 for the Sting, does just enough to prevent that one. Could have been a free header, a free hit. The attacking player, I want to say it was Hussein, thought he had enough time to chest it down, and it was just a half a second too long. Real good chance there for the Hawks. Uccello now, free header at the back post, make it the front post. Bicycle kick, doesn't come off. It'll be cleared by, I believe it's Abdul Latif. Beg your pardon, it's actually Steven Janjicek. Half chances for both squads early in this one. It was Rashad Griffith on a point-blank header for the Seneca Sting. And just moments ago, Omar Hussein pressing the issue inside the penalty box after some great play from Babawale and Luca Uccello.
The thing with Babawale, like we talk about the front three of Humber, and it is very deadly. There's no getting away from that. But Babawale has been a guy that I feel has really made them tick this tournament. Obviously, we haven't really seen Humber play this year leading into this. I watched a little bit of the highlights of their provincial win, but I've really been impressed by Babawale. He's I don't want to say an unsung hero because I genuinely don't know how much attention he's had this year, but he's definitely impressed me this week.
Francisco Tomaseros gets crunched over again from behind. He was kind of welcoming the tackle. He just kept dribbling, wanting to take that extra touch. And he gets a bit of a whack from his man. It's Usman Hussein again, who thumped over the number 21, Francisco Tomaseros. It'll be a free kick near touchline right in front of the stats bench and the fourth official in this gold medal game here, the 2022 CCAA Men's National Championships, hosted by Langley College here at Willoughby Park, future home of Vancouver FC of the CPL, of course, nestled right in between the Langley Events Centre and a myriad of schools of all different ages as well. So plenty of fans now filtering in as we have some youth camps behind us, and a great ball around the back has found Rashad Griffith. He's onside. Griffith carries towards the corner flag. Can't shirk off the tackle of two white shirts, and the Humber Hawks come away with it. It's Babawale. Good job by Tomaseros to dispossess Babawale. Alex Lewis can't reel in the secondary ball, and the Humber Hawks are now starting to settle into some of their possession and rhythm.
I was just going to say, our usual reminder, if you want to get in touch with us during the broadcast, you can do so on Twitter at AFTN Canada or CD Basso. And if Twitter's not your thing, you can send a message to aftncanada@hotmail.com. We'd love to know where you're watching this from. I'm going to guess Ontario for the bulk of the people. But let us know, and if you want to send any good wishes along to any of the players or chat about this tournament, the seasons that both these teams have had, get in touch. We love to make these broadcasts interactive. So AFTN Canada on Twitter, you can do just that.
Yeah, feel free to hit up Michael McCall's TikTok account as well. Not overly entertaining, but he's looking for all the support he can get.
I've tried this new dance. It just hasn't quite worked out. There's the new panini dance.
The new raw onion panini dance?
Yes, I'm tasting those raw onions now, I tell you.
Good play there from Seneca. Alex Lewis comes away with it. Oh, he just let the ball roll under his feet, and it was Luca Pinto who snapped in like a flash to shepherd it out for a goal kick. Good defending there from Pinto, and Alex Lewis will have to be on top of some of those balls if he's going to create some chances in the offensive third. Lots of fans starting to filter in on the bleachers just to our left and right.
Yeah, I think it's the parents that have their kids at all the camps just dumped the kids at camp and they've come to watch a good football match.
That's right. They brought the Tim Hortons over to the benches here, and they've
why not? Because this will be an absolute cracker, and they've got a lot to live up for, because that bronze medal match was a very entertaining affair.
I'm looking no further than the Battle of BC as well, a 4-3 encounter that almost saw the Mariners storm back after Billy Bagiopoulos poked his nose into the result. So,
yeah, two excellent games. So let's see what these guys have got. Can you follow this up as the Nomads players and head coach Francisco Vela just making his way past this just now? Very happy team.
Ball over the top for Alex Lewis. He's beating Giordano Pinto. Lewis! Oh, he did just enough to get past
caught
Pinto.
The keeper on the way through there with a trailing leg. It's a red card.
A red card. It's so unfortunate for the Seneca Sting. The keeper came out to clutch the ball. Alex Lewis was definitely late to the ball. It looked like he might have hung a last-ditch toe at it, but it certainly wasn't malicious, and he certainly didn't kick at it. If I'm judging from this broadcaster's eyes, it's a harsh red card.
I'm genuinely
And yes, you want to
stunned.
protect the keeper, but it didn't look like he left that much of a leg in, and there certainly wasn't a kicking motion, that's for sure.
Well, there wasn't. It's like a striker's entitled to go for that. He's chasing the ball down, and the keeper comes out, and I said I wasn't going to go on one of my keepers get too much attention and protection rants, but I am going to do that as the sub-keeper is actually warming up here for Humber.
Yeah, we'll see what the end result is. I'm not going to go ahead and say he didn't make contact with the keeper's head, because
that's why I've stopped now that I've seen the other keeper warming up. But
of course, but it looked like, from our initial vantage point, it looked like the faintest of touch. Perhaps he caught him. I think a yellow card may have been a fair result there to say, hey, calm down, Mr. Lewis. Obviously, if he's if he's gone and really injured the keeper here, then the red card may be the fair result. But from our first look at it, and we are certainly not trying to make excuses for Alex Lewis here, who was second to the ball, but it is going to be a red card, and that certainly changes the tide of this gold medal match, as if it wasn't an uphill climb already for the Seneca Sting. They'll have to play with a man down for, gosh, I got to imagine it's more than 70 minutes.
11th minute there.
My goodness, so stern ask for the Seneca Sting, and it's unfortunate for Lewis, who himself is distraught. You can see it wasn't a malicious tackle he was trying to get to. He was just trying to reel in that through ball. It looked like he was initially offside, if I'm being honest, but the flag stays down. Luca Pinto did just enough to put him off and force the ball ahead of him, and then he just left the leg in, I guess, far too long.
I mean,
it's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's a tough one to call, isn't it? It really is.
I've played striker, I've played keeper, not to any high levels, but when I've played, that's the two positions I've played. Keeper more as I got older. And I know as a striker, when you're chasing a ball like that down, you can't just suddenly stop. And you see the anger just now on the Sting bench.
Yeah. And you understand where the call is coming from. I'm going to go back to the referee's body language here, because I think that also has to be looked at. He went immediately for the red card.
He did.
He didn't really take the time to suss out the situation, what had been happening, and he was having the Humber Hawks surround him. A few players had already come to him and been like, what's going on here? So
I'm going to watch that back at halftime.
I was going to say, that is going to be a certain talking point. I felt the referee could have been a bit patient there and maybe gone with a yellow or perhaps a deep orange card, but he's gone red. Ball flashes across the area. Great chance there from Cadell Thomas. The Humber Hawks now will have their tails up. They'll be smelling blood, and advantage for the men in white. It's harsh on the Seneca Sting, though.
It's going to spoil the final as well, because Seneca just can't open up now. They just can't afford to. They were already in for a tough one this afternoon. They're going to have to play a defensive game, keep that one man up and try and hit on the counter or in set pieces. But I mean, Lewis showed that those balls, and I talked about the 2 goals they gave up against Boniface. It was through balls through the middle. It seems to be something that has caught Hawks out this week, and that was another one from them there. But I mean, Seneca still battling away here.
Francisco Thomas Ceros. He looks like he's going to take on this challenge.
Yeah.
He's taking a spark from that red card.
Yesterday, or get my days mixed up, Friday, you couldn't get the ball off his feet. Yep. It's like, I don't know what it was like in the first game that you called for Seneca, but he was impressive as anything out there.
Very similar. He's a handful, Francisco Thomas Ceros, and he might have to be one of the men to open things up here for the Seneca Sting. A bit of a half-hearted effort there from Cadell Thomas outside of the penalty box. That'll be a clutch and claim down to his right-hand side for Anthony Gurrieri. If you're just joining us, gold medal game between the Seneca Sting and Humber Hawks, an all-Ontario clash. Already some drama and controversy and talking points in this one, as Alex Lewis, the number 10 for the Seneca Sting, was just sent off for what was adjudged to have been a stamp on the head of the keeper on the Humber Hawks after a missed breakaway. And Michael McCall will have his fine-tooth comb out for the replay of that one at halftime, I am sure.
Oh, I will be watching that back for sure. I mean, we talked about the quickness that the card came out. I thought, oh, it's a yellow card, it's fair enough. I thought that's what he was doing right away, and then it's glistening in the sun, and I'm instantly thinking, that looks red.
Your eyes do not deceive you, Michael, and I know they deceive you lots, but
they do.
It wasn't the blood moon from the other night. It was, in fact, a red card. So Alex Lewis, and you could tell right away it wasn't his intention. He was just trying to reel in that ball, like you said, Michael. There was nothing malicious about it.
No, nothing at all. I mean, he's chasing it down, and he's got every right, I feel, to go for it, but we'll reserve judgment till we watch it back to see if there is any afters. I guess that's maybe what it is. We'll have a chat with our friendly referee assessors to our left.
They love talking with you, Michael.
Oh, yes. It's like, here it comes again.
Best part of their day. Humber Hawks now very patient in possession. They know they have the conch here, and it's up to them.
Well, that was what they showed in the semi-final too. It's like they just played the patience game. They knew that their breakthroughs and their chances would come. And it does seem to be for this Hawk side, when they come in numbers.
Yep, they come in waves. Hussein.
It's not easy though to play against 10 men. My East Fife went down to 10 men early and took the lead this afternoon. We won't go into how it finished, but There is that possibility.
Okay. Here come the Hawks. Osman Hussein has been very busy early, the number 6 for the Humber Hawks. Hasn't had anything to show for his efforts just yet, but as Michael said, the Humber Hawks might elect to play the waiting game here and just wear down these Seneca Sting. Francisco Tomaseros, who's been stepped on a few times here early in this one, he's going to get another crunching tackle. He'll stay down on the deck. It looks like he's clutching his hip or his back here.
It's not been a good start
and
for Seneca in all aspects here.
Massive loss if Francisco Tomaseros wasn't able to carry on. He is one of their creative playmakers. He certainly can conjure something out of nothing.
Yeah, he's been so good for them. I've got a message in from Nelson Novo, who is watching from Sonoma, and he says Luca Pinto is the best fullback in this campaign. He has had a very good tournament. The dog to our right agrees.
Yeah, big Luca Pinto fan over there, that golden retriever. Oh, likes him some Luca Uccello too. Ball over the top, back underway now. Looks like Francisco Tomaseros will be able to carry on. I've liked the play of Pinto so far early in this one. Of course, he was the defender involved in the collision with Alex Lewis and the goalkeeper.
Yes.
That kind of put off Alex Lewis, so indirectly perhaps involved in giving a slight advantage. Humber Hawks in the area now. Will it be a cutback? It will. It's right along the goal line, though. It was Danny Medeiros who almost caught the keeper cheating to the middle of the area. Good claim, though, from Gurrieri in the sky blue kit. He'll bowl out to his right for Atif Ali. Giveaway, though, inside the area. Uccello with a shot there. This time, Gurrieri again will drop down to his right to smother it. Easy, Fido, easy.
Now, I was going to say that after that sending off, Patrice Geyser had not really decided to switch things up a bit or go a bit more defensive. But then I thought, maybe he doesn't feel he needs to, because Lewis, obviously being an attack-minded player, he's maybe happy with his defence. But he is going to make a substitution here. And it's going to be a defender that is coming on, Giselle Narona. Be interesting to see who they decide to take off here. You have to feel it's going to be a front player, because I think they're going to want to go 5 at the back as the card comes out again to a Sting player.
Jeez, that was a robust challenge.
That was a high foot going in there. I think that's right on his knee.
It was. Federico Leal, I believe, was the player who got walled. Leal, thank you. Federico Leal gets crunched there, and this will size up nicely for a free kick, probably 25 yards out and dead central.
I think the Dogs wanting to get involved here, not happy with the refereeing out there. Obviously a Seneca Sting supporter.
Yeah, that golden retriever, man, it's a bit of an ultra.
Oh, it's
very
Cadell
vocal.
Thomas that's coming off now. Oh, no, it's not Cadell. I'm looking at the wrong roster. It's Paiman Sultani coming off.
Very good.
I was like, why are they taking off Cadell Thomas? They're not. It's a different team.
Narona, I beg your pardon, now on. Payman Sultani was looking lively up until the sending off. He hasn't really had many outlets or options up in the offensive third.
I will switch my starting lineups to the right side of the pitch.
Good job,
that
Michael.
helps, yes.
Here come
still learning.
A real chance here for the Humber Hawks.
Such a great position in front of goal here.
Almost everybody in the wall outside of 3 players. They're taking no chances here, the Seneca Sting. Ooh, it's a right-footed blast that had some kind of whip on it. It came off I think it was the head or the face of Abdul Latif, and it flies out the opposite side, our near side broadcast vantage point, for a throw-in for Luca Pinto.
Sting will be delighted that Abdul Latif was in the right place at the right time there, because that was going to be goal-bound otherwise.
Yeah, he got over top of the ball, did Leal, and
he hit that with some force as well.
Yeah, it was knuckling, but it met an obstacle along the way, which suits Seneca just fine. Rashad Griffith has the ball shielded away from him, and it might be a lonely night at the office for Rashad Griffith moving forward.
I think it is. I was just thinking the same thing there.
He might have the thankless job of chasing a lot of lost causes. We'll see if the number 9 is up for the battle. Giveaway now by Seneca, but it's reeled back in by Thomas Saros.
I mean, I think this is spoiled the game a little bit as a spectacle with that early card, but it's up to Humber now to find this breakthrough still. you do worry, though, that once they find that first, it's just going to open the floodgates after that.
Yeah, Seneca Sting have to hold on to here and keep this competitive. Francisco Tomaseros kind of boxed himself in. Now he's asking for his teammates for a little bit of help. And Abdulatif. Hussein, forward for Leal. Tomaseros now gets the help he was asking for earlier.
Sting just need to try and slow the pace down, because we know how quickly Humber like to play and how quickly they like to move the ball. It's just a case, hold on to it as much as you can and just don't give it away in chances like that, because you're going to get the pressure right back on at you again.
Absolutely. It's a fine mix of trying to keep possession but also clearing a line. Swerve ball into the area from Hussein. That one headed clear by Abdulatif. Switch of play now from Pinto onto the left-hand side.
We played a game in the schoolyard in Scotland. I was talking about this the other day. I don't know if it's played here or not by kids back in the day, but attackers and defenders. And it's like you just have people, and the other team weren't trying to attack. They were just trying to stave off for as long as possible, just to hone skills defensively or offensively. And that's what it feels like this is going to be.
Good play there from Francisco Tomaseros. Gets past one, gets past two, shield, and he will win a free kick. Good play there.
This is what I was saying. Another card out. The ref's gone to his pocket so early here.
Yeah, the ref is...
I don't think that was a yellow card.
Nor do I. That was a 50-50 coming together, which unfortunately one lad got the better of. He's dealing them out like candy at the moment, is the referee. Good play, though, from Francisco Tomaseros, and he's going to have to do a lot of that this game. The shielding, the hold-up play, the waiting for options. And we know he can. The Seneca Sting now, with a rare foray into the offensive end. They're going to have to make some of their set pieces count today, Michael.
Well, these are the chances that are going to come few and far between, so they have to capitalise on them. And if, as we keep saying, if they can get this first goal, we've got a whole different game on our hands.
Here comes the cross. To the heart of the area. It bobbles around. It was the defender, Aaron Toniolo, who actually was the closest to it for the Seneca Sting. Great play there, though, from the winger of the Humber Hawks. Even better slide tackle from Abdulatif on the far side. The number 8, Imran, I beg your pardon, Abdulatif.
I mean, that's the kind of delivery that you're wanting Lewis up there, your big man. Lewis had 7 goals in the regular season, the joint second scorer in this team. But more importantly, for Seneca, also 4 assists in the year. So they're losing both that goal-scoring ability and the creative ability that Lewis brought. And I said in that semi-final on Friday night, he was just excellent out there. He was one of my players of the game. Into the 25th minute now. It was the 24th minute that Humber found the breakthrough in the Ontario Provincial Championship.
You wonder how long Seneca can hold on here. I don't want to say it's a small miracle, but if they can get into the half at 0-0, that definitely gives them something to build off of.
Yep.
And maybe starts asking questions of the Humber Hawks if they're able to break them down. So if you can stay stingy in the defense and frustrate the attacking players, and heck, maybe if you can coerce or goad one of the opposing players into a red card, which the way the referee's handing out cards might be the way go home for the Seneca Sting.
Like, have a couple of runs at them and see if you can draw a few tackles and a few cards in the process.
Ooh, and he took a whack there, did Francisco Tomaseros. He looked like he actually might have taken a slap or a punch to the midsection there. That was very handsy play by Federico Leal, who himself has taken a beating today as well.
Seen a few physical matchups in the games today.
Tomaseros has been recast in the role of Solomon Aria from the previous game. My goodness, he has been on the turf at least a dozen times here on some really physical challenges.
Well, I mean, Humber's going to know that he is their big danger man. And there was a couple of moments in that semi-final where he was just like dancing past one player after the other, and it really felt like the ball was just glued to the top of his foot. It was just impossible to knock it off him.
He has elements of a Brazilian street footballer to him, doesn't he? Just the way he plays, and he'll dip the shoulder, and he's not afraid of a dribble or a turn of pace.
He's not running right, though, after that. He is very laboured.
You hope.
But it's now in acres of room out here as well, which...
They've forgotten about him.
Oh, yeah, he's not right out there.
See if
maybe he can run it off, but...
Yeah, well, we said that about Solomon Ari in the last match.
True.
We called for his substitution at least 20 times.
The ambulance called and everything for him at one point.
He just kept going, Aria. Even he didn't know he was injured. He couldn't be told otherwise. Back underway now. It looks like Thomas Saros is full stride again.
Run that off. He just obviously needed a few minutes there.
The sun now starting to set here in Langley, BC, which means it has become a little bit chilly, but less of an optical illusion, not just for the broadcasters, but the players as well. So should this go to PKs on that far side?
Yeah, I'm happy with the sun going away. I'll put up with the cold.
Ooh, Francisco Thomas Saros almost snapping in to take it off the foot of Pinto.
At some point as well, the longer this goes on, scoreless, and Humber's going to think, well, they're not much of an attacking threat. They can switch off a little bit at the back.
No, it is true, especially at this young age. The mental part of the game, the switching on and off, can sometimes be the real discipline, because we know most of these lads are fit as fiddles.
The thing, though, with Humber, of course, is they've got a few very experienced lads in that team, especially up front when you've got 25-year-old Luca Acello, you've got 25-year-old Cadell Thomas. They've been there, they've done that, they've played in the pros, so they won't let their teammates fall into that trap, or you would hope that they wouldn't.
Ooh, that's a giveaway by Baba Wale. This could be a chance here for Seneca if they can get it inside the penalty box. Shot on net. It's a left footer right at the keeper. Good effort, though, on net, though it has to be said. I believe it was Steven Janjicek who got that one in.
Admire the tenacity being shown by Seneca just now. They could easily just shut up shop and just, I was going to say, welcome the pressure. You don't welcome this Humber pressure.
No, certainly not. Not willingly anyways. Pinto.
In saying that, though, Seneca's done a good job in not allowing Humber to get that free-flowing football going, and their front three, Cadell Thomas in particular, has just not been a factor in this game.
They've kept them fairly quiet. They're plugging up the lanes. It's not the most entertaining brand of football, but at this stage of the game, Seneca are far from trying to make a Hollywood marquee. They're trying to get a goal, get this one to extra time, whatever they can. And you know what, though? This might suit Seneca just fine because 1-1 PK win, 1-1 PK win. This might just be their brand of football. And the Humber Hawks, meanwhile, we know they can break teams down, but something tells me they probably appreciate a little bit more of an open, free-flowing game as opposed to a stop-start bunkering game.
Yeah, but now you look out there and Griffith is down, getting some attention as Humber's taking this as an opportunity to regroup and try and fire themselves up a little bit.
Yeah, they just had a little...
Griffith's up a little bit limpy as well. It's just everything is not going in Seneca's favour right now. As Ceres is over at the bench, just getting a drink of water. I thought he was maybe going to get a little bit more treatment.
Head coach for...
As the fourth official calling the referee over, Patrick Geyser has been very vocal in this one. Clearly not happy with that challenge on Griffith there.
No, he's also getting his mileage out of that red card, probably.
He's still mouthing off for the fourth official here. He's going to have to watch because...
He's a little perturbed, and as you can see on the visual, they've given the coaches a little training cone. Yes. They're not supposed to walk more central than that towards the referee, so he's already overstepped his boundaries a little bit. He better watch himself, Patrice.
I'm just waiting for him to pick it up and chuck it at the fourth official, because if these decisions keep going against his team.
Absolutely. You feel for the head coach of Seneca, Patrice, though, with Alex Lewis being sent off on a possible controversial call. We'll have to see the replay to get a real scope of the incident, but from our initial vantage point, a deep yellow card would probably have been the fairest result. Baba Wale going for a bit of a marauding dribble. He can't get past Abdul Latif. Through ball looking for Luca Uccello. Just had to try and reel that one in. He couldn't. Very similar look between...
Oh, and Griffith's down again in a lot of pain there.
Federico Leal and Uccello. Trying to work an intertwine. A roulette out of the back there. I can't say that was advised from Janjicek. The referee will now put whistle to lips, and Griffiths, who was already smarting from an earlier challenge, is in a heap now down on the turf right in front of his dugout.
I mean, the Hawk player went right through him, but fairly. I mean, it's just a robust challenge, but after the ball got knocked away, he's definitely clattered into the back of Griffith's leg. I was keeping an eye on that one, and he went down in a lot of pain there.
Still being looked at by the physio crew. Griffith, if you're joining us, still 0-0 despite a red card from the Seneca Sting. Alex Lewis. We've also already awarded a bronze medal. The ceremony to come after this one, but it'll be the Nomades de Montmorency of Laval, Quebec, who were victorious over the South Alberta Institute of Technology Trojans by a score of 2-0 in extra time. Rashad Griffith is going to do the one-legged hop off to the sideline. Looks like he'll be okay to continue, but he's going to be a bit tender after that one, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is tough going for Seneca through the first half hour of this game. Seneca looking to try and win their 5th CCAA National Championship. They won it 3 times in a row, 84, 85, 86. Dominant that team, and then they haven't won since 2009.
Do you happen to have it on your schedule who won it in 1987, my birth year?
I do, actually.
Michael, you do all the prep. You cross every T, you dot every I.
Well, Seneca were actually runners-up. They got beat in the final in that year, and that year it was won by Nate.
The North Alberta Institute of Technology. Well done. Good job, Michael. Well done. I'm always impressed by some of the hidden gems that you unearth.
It was quiet at work earlier this week. I just trawled as many different websites as I could. If I've got notes sprayed out all over the place here.
I say, man, it's a Bible of statistics just down below us on the table.
Yeah, I haven't used most of them. It's like
I've got like a tiny 2x2 foot square of the table. The rest is Michael McCall's. It's his bills. It's his statistics. I think he's got his will and testament out. He's working on that too. All sorts of stuff going on here at the booth. Meanwhile, the Humber Hawks at field level, they're trying to open up this stingy Seneca Sting defense. Luca Pinto now. Can he swerve a ball into the area? He's going to cross it the width of the park. We'll see what that does up the left-hand side. Right-footed shot, charged down there by Janjicek. Hussein. Ball into the box now. Falls for Federico Leal. He couldn't reel it in. Scrappy play now, as neither squad can really put a foot to it. Francisco Thomas Cerros going to try and dribble his way out of issue.
Tackles continue to fly in here.
It was a clumsy one there from Thomas Cerros. I believe it was on Hussein. He was in a sea of 4 white shirts with Cerros. He had a stern ass to try and get out of that phone booth. He didn't.
Yeah.
And he was forced into a bit of a frustration late tackle there on Hussein. Dangerous territory now occupied by Luca Uccello.
I'm not sure you can really say that Humber have used their man advantage very well so far either, but full credit to Seneca for denying them that.
Uccello, great ball in. He had some swerve on it too. Leal hit a hand possibly on the way by.
I saw a hand fly out from somewhere in there.
Yeah, it was Baba Wale who stuck out a hand. It may have come off the underside of his arm, taking a bit of sting off of it. If not, it was a easy clutch and claim for Anthony Gurrieri, who will give it the FIFA 94 drop kick right into midfield. Not won, though, by Rashad Griffith, who's on a bit of an island at the moment. Hussein. Beg your pardon, that's actually Cadell Thomas. He'll cut it back for the number 9, Damien Kay. Kay in a healthy battle there along the far touchline with Adam Othman. It will be a throw-in for the men in white.
Kay is another player, though, that hasn't really got involved in this game, and I mean, scored a hat-trick in their quarter-final win, and he's been so deadly all season. 10 goals on the year for Daniel Kay over the regular season, and just, again, Seneca have just absolutely neutralised him today.
Humber Hawks, another corner kick. I'm going to go back to what you said, Michael. The Humber Hawks haven't really put their stamp on this one since they've gone up a man, and you can call that really good blocks and lane closing by the Seneca Sting, or you could perhaps say that Humber have maybe been a little bit too cavalier in some of their possession. They have had their opportunities, and they have found themselves in good positions. Here comes a late runner into the area. Punched away by Gurrieri, only as far as the top of the box. A sclaffed effort comes off the backside. Number 15 is going to have a rip again. It takes a deflection. It was Danny Medeiros who smacked at it with the left peg. It comes off the defender. I believe it was Imran Abdul-Latif. And Gurrieri watches it go by his right post. Another corner kick for Uccello, a right-footed in-swinger.
Sting under the cosh a bit here.
Into the 6-yard box. Good claim by Gurrieri. He had to be calm, cool, and collected on that one, and he ticked all 3 boxes. Good play by the young keeper.
We talked about Seneca Sting's record in these nationals. I mean, let's talk about Humber Hawks as well. 8 national titles for this programme. Defending champions coming in, looking to be the first back-to-back champions since, who do you think?
Seneca?
No, Humber.
Oh.
And who was the first back-to-back champion before that?
Seneca.
Humber.
Oh. You gave me all those 80s dates where like Seneca won it for a decade and then... Oh,
yeah, it's been an absolute dynasty for Humber. They've won 6 of the last 9.
You hoodwinked me there,
I
Michael.
did.
You bamboozled me. Good job. Well done. I love that.
Just trying to liven this up.
I love doing this type of trivia, Michael. If you got any more, throw them by me. I get lots of questions wrong.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there's a stern challenge from behind. It's Luca Uccello. It's a cynical foul as well on Abdul-Latif. And Michael, don't look now, but we have another yellow card. It's Luca Uccello as the referee. Maybe
I think I should have started keeping notes. I did in the last game.
It's a new set of cards. Maybe he's just trying to make sure they work. They certainly do work. It's another one, this time for the number 10 of the Hawks, who was showing a dash frustration there when he clambered into his man Abdul-Latif from behind.
Maybe on payment by card bonus today.
Well, that's easy money then.
Oh, raking it in.
Clip ball to the left corner for Francisco Thomas Serros. He's fighting a losing cause, shakes and shimmies past 2 men. Good job by Francisco Serros. Thomas Serros, can he get on a ball? He can't.
He needs help though. He can't
does
do it
need
all
help
on his own out there.
He does need help, and unfortunately the Humber Hawks are swarming him before any recruitments can back him up, so he's getting smothered there, but he hasn't given up the battle yet, has Francisco Thomas Serros. With his back to goal, needs options again. Nobody presenting for him. He's got Atif there, but Atif's kind of showing at a very acute angle. That being said, he comes away with it, Atif. Uccello back to provide some defense. Serros still down on the deck, though. He's taken another crunching tackle, and the referee will show mercy and blow down a free kick.
And from Seneca's point of view, at least they are up the other end of the pitch after that sustained period of pressure from Humber, and they've got themselves a free kick here in a dangerous position. We've got roughly 7 minutes of this half to go in stoppage time, and there has been a few stoppages, so may get a few minutes on here.
We had at least 3 minutes for the stoppage on the red card, so I would imagine a couple. It'll be a corner kick.
It's kind of playing out right now that Seneca's just trying to see the game out in the corner flag. We've got a long way to go for that. If they can see the half out though, at least it will give Patrice Geyser, keep calling him Geyser, a chance to regroup. He's going off like a geezer sometimes at the fourth official.
Behave, Michael, behave. If they somehow come away with a goal off a set piece here just before the locker room, that will certainly be a morale boost. But they have to be happy with their efforts here in the first half. Despite being down 10 men, they've done just about all they can to stifle the Humber Hawks. Abdul-Latif clips one into the area. Nobody was making that second wave of attack for the ball over the top, and it goes a-begging. And the Humber Hawks will now go right back to the drawing board from their own end.
I think Geyser will be the happier of the two head coaches. Michael Aquino, he's been very quiet as well. There's not a lot of shouting coming from the house.
I think he's afraid to get booked, that's why.
I didn't mean anything about Patrick there.
No, but he's definitely been more vocal, but he's also been booked for his vocality, so maybe Aquino has seen that and says, you know what, I could be okay without the yellow card.
But he has been quiet down there, and I watched a couple of videos that were up on the Humber Hawks Sports Network, and
great cross into the box, swerving cross from Babawale after being teed up by Pinto. Sorry to interrupt you there, Michael.
No,
real
totally
good
fine.
spell of play though by the Hawks, and once again you feel Gurrieri is going to have to get a lot of those clutches and claims off his line. Spot on so far. He's batting 100%.
He's been the hero in 2 penalty shootouts, coming up with some big saves. 2 in that one that you called, 1 in the one that I called.
Absolutely. 2 big saves late, too, because the Nomads, all they had to do was score 1 more penalty, and they would have gone out to 1-0, but Gurrieri stopped one and then stopped the next one to see his side advance their positive momentum and their record in this tournament.
Serros with the 2 winning penalty kicks in those shootouts as well, so can he get a very unusual hat-trick?
Uccello with a great switch of play there to the far side. Found number 15, Danny Medeiros. Kay He's going to rake in a right-footed cross. No, it's actually a well-timed switch of play. This
lovely
time,
crossfield ball.
Babawale, he takes it in his stride, thumps over Thomas Saros. For me, that's a foul. It cuts back. The referee electing to let that one go. Now in the penalty box, number 15, Medeiros charges it down. Is he going to have a chance on net? It's scrappy play in the penalty box, and Medeiros just couldn't come away with it in a sea of legs. There's going to be a foul. This time, Leal will get called for the infraction. Thomas Saros asking for some confirmation on that last one as he got walloped by Babawale, and somehow it went unpunished.
I thought there was a foul there, but also like Atif Ali was a lucky lad though, as Babawale got past him. There was a little nudge in him in the box, and a lot of players would just hit the deck then.
Yeah, it was a bit of helter-skelter defending. There was bodies flying all over the place. It looked like a gang fight inside the penalty box. Somehow the Seneca Sting, though, managed to come out of that one unscathed, and they'll live to fight another day. Still 0-0 here as we approach the halftime locker room.
Yeah, 3 minutes this one remaining.
Ooh, good burst of speed there from the Seneca Sting. I believe it was Abdul Latif who has been busy. Francisco Thomas Saros has it now. On the dribble, into the penalty box. Saros still going, cuts back to his right foot. Saros gives him the shimmy, the shake. Still going, Saros. He's trying to dribble through the whole team of Saros. It falls on the foot of number 21, my goodness. Optical illusion. The keeper gets cleaned out on that one. It was a robust tackle, and the keeper for the Humber Hawks, Holger Shemeta, has been in the thick of things. He got a stamp in the first portion of play, and that time it was a body-to-body walloping, and he was second best on that occasion. We'll see if any yellow cards are brandished to, I believe it was Abdul Latif who kind of submarined
they're both
him.
Down very heavy. I thought that was a 50-50 challenge. Again, the attacker, he's fully entitled to go for that.
He certainly is. I will say that it was a 50-50 challenge, but the keeper
did clean him out.
He did clean him out. For me, I could be okay with a yellow card there. I just hope it's not anything more at this stage.
Oh, I really do as well, because then that will make this. I mean, there's a lot of very angry Humber Hawk players amongst themselves there.
A bit of a marital spat going down in the penalty box between the Humber Hawk defenders. I'm going to go back to the initial play that happened there. Francisco Saros, bless his heart for all the work he's doing, but he needed to lay that one off. He was in a sea of 6 jerseys, and he tried to force his way through. He needs to start using some of his buddies, I think.
I mean, we talked about the fact that he has been doing that. I thought I saw a card in the ref's hand there, but it's not. I mean, he has been dancing through defences this week, but you can't do it all yourself.
Yeah. You can only tango with a few people at the dance club before the 10th one wants to do the merengue or something, right, Michael?
It's so tough to see out there right now as well. We're both shielding the sun from our eyes, but no card coming here, so that's a good thing.
Yes, and I'm glad to see everybody's up and okay, because that's a
good thing too.
That was a clattering together.
Oh, but now the referee is over. Is he speaking to Michael Aquino now? Yeah, Michael Aquino has now picked up a yellow card. We were just saying that he hadn't been very vocal.
Michael, I'm going to try and see if the broadcast can get booked during this match. I think we can get booked.
Every chance.
I'm pretty sure you can get a couple cards for sure. I'm a little bit more well-behaved.
I think it was Michael Aquino. It was hard to see because it was a shaped figure through the dugout that we couldn't quite make out, but someone got a booking anyway on that bench.
He carded a nameless silhouette on the Humber Hawks bench. 4 minutes of added time.
That's not what Seneca want to see, mind you.
No, it certainly is, but I feel it could have been more between the stoppages.
Yeah, there's been a lot.
I think you could have had 5 or 6. Seneca, though, will try and see out this half. They're starting to get a bit of frustration out of the Humber Hawks there.
Yes, that's a good sign.
The defense were starting to have goes at each other there, so maybe the Seneca Sting have them right where they want them. Still 0-0, though, and as we know, that won't win you a championship. We're going to have to see some goals soon.
No, but defences do win championships, and if the Sting are going to lift a 5th national title, it's going to be on a solid defensive effort.
Well said, Michael. Play to the touchline for Francisco Thomas Saros. Again, goes for a nutmeg. He gets a little bit of help, though, from number 17, Adam Othman, who can be a real handful as well. He's been fairly quiet in this first half, though. They'll need to see more from him if the Seneca Sting are going to conjure up something. They tried to play a long, stinging ball forward. No pun intended, Seneca, for Othman, but he just wasn't able to get on the end of it. He was beaten for pace by Keegan Wilson.
Very, very different final this to the Ontario Provincial Championship. It was 4-0 to Humber that day with a Babawale hat-trick.
Ball into the area. Cleaned up by Aaron Toniolo. Rashad Griffiths just can't sort out his feet and reel that one in. Humber Hawks get the ball back. Medeiros. Ooh, clever backheel by Uccello. Almost found, I believe it was Cadell Thomas in his stride, but he was well marshaled by the strapping number 26 of the Seneca Sting, Joel Alain, who, well, based on my first experience with Alain, not afraid to throw in a robust challenge. He had a very healthy duel with Les Rouges de Saint-Boniface in their first matchup. Beg your pardon, the Nomads de Montmorency.
Got another message in from Nelson Novo. He says his mate Simon is watching from Nunavut for this game, and he wants to say that Tristan Saul should really be on the bench for Seneca tonight. Unfortunately, he got an injury and has ruled him out for this game.
Nice. Well done, Simon. Thanks for chiming in. Free kick from Luca Uccello to the back post, headed clear again by Alain. The pieces fall to the feet of Medeiros in the penalty box. Medeiros, ball to the back post. Oh, it's a gilt-edged chance for Hussein. All he has to do is direct it back into the net, but he side foots it on the volley, right where it came from. Another yellow card presented. I believe it was,
it's hard to tell,
Medeiros. I think it was Medeiros, but it will be another yellow card for a protest or perhaps a sign of frustration there.
I think the frustration is starting to get to Humber here. And I mean, we've got a message in from Ross Charlesworth who says the officiating over the 4 days has been inconsistent at times. Take the game last night, the Nomads goalkeeper bashed through Langara's Connor Thompson, no play in the ball. Yes, a PK, but no card delivered. Now, that was something I thought there was going to be a card handed out there, but it wasn't given. So, I mean, we don't want to criticise the referees too much, especially because the assessor crew said that we had been very good and very good.
He actually praised you, Michael. Yeah. That's not usual for you.
And then just buried them in this game, but
I think inconsistent is fair, though, because we have seen some games, and I'm looking back to the last couple games that we've even called today, where there were some fouls that looked very cardable that were played on.
Oh, yeah.
And then we've seen,
got let go in that last game.
And then we've seen some tackles in this game, which, for me, have barely warranted a foul that have been presented yellow cards. So it's just the consistency.
But then he's gone to his pocket early, and that's the issue.
Yeah.
Not even so much the red card, but just as soon as you start bringing those yellows out, you've got to keep it going.
Absolutely.
And now he's kind of made a rod for his own back here.
And you hear what Mr. Charlesworth, the fan, is saying there. Despite that red card to Alex Lewis, it is still 0-0 at the half here. The Seneca Sting, plucky as you like, are hanging in there with the Humber Hawks. What might have been a mismatch on paper got even worse for Seneca after the sending off, but they should be happy with that first half performance. A real morale-boosting one. 0-0, 10-man Seneca Sting and the Humber Hawks. Michael, final thoughts before the half?
Well, I'm just watching Patrick Geyser here, who's in full conversation with the fourth official. He's not giving up on his grumbles from this game. But, I mean, I think that is a tremendous performance by Seneca Sting. Now, we were talking before we went on the broadcast for this one and at the start of the day about how good this Humber side has been. And this is a team, I think, that they could go into U Sports and compete with some of those teams out in Ontario as well. This is not the Humber Hawks we've seen in these first two games today. And how much of that do you put down to Seneca playing fantastically defensively, or how much is it that they're just not firing on all cylinders and they're a little bit tired? It's a tough one, but I think an interesting second half coming up here.
All to play for, the CCAA Men's National Championships. Soccer variety anyways. 0-0 at the half between the Humber Hawks and 10 men Seneca Sting, back with the second half kickoff in just under 15 minutes time. Welcome back to Willoughby Park, Langley BC, host venue of the 2022 CCAA Men's National Championships. We will have a substitution here for the Seneca Sting to start the half. Payman Sultani coming back on for Rashad Griffith, who took a bit of a knock here. If you're just joining us, Seneca down to 10 men after Alex Lewis was sent off in the first half. The score, though, still 0-0. The Seneca Sting being very stubborn. The Humber Hawks not able to break them down just yet. The sun is setting, Michael McCall. Is the sun setting on the chances for the Humber Hawks to take this one down in regulation?
I mean, you still have to feel that Humber are the big favourites here. They're buzzing about that Sting side, but is there a sting in the tail from Seneca? Can they get this go-ahead goal? You feel the first goal in this is massive, because if Seneca get it, they've got a chance of holding on. If Humber get it, you do worry that they will then just go and add to their tally.
Michael, we talked it to death in the first half. You've now had a look at the replay of the controversial red card.
I've done more than that.
Alex Lewis, a judge to have stamped on the head of the keeper for the Hawks, Holger Shameta, immediately brandished a red card under protest from the Humber Hawks, did the referee. You've now had a second look from different eyes, not rose-colored glasses either. What says you?
I watched it back. I still don't think it was a red card.
Oh.
I then spoke to the referee assessor. My first question was, red card? It's like 100%.
Wow.
And then we had a discussion about it as to exactly
So they're
why.
sticking to the letter of the law
yes,
then?
That's exactly what it is. It's like the rules of the game, contact made with the keeper. It didn't look like he clearly tried to jump out the way. It's a trailing leg. So because it caught the keeper, and it did catch the keeper.
Yeah.
It's a straight red card.
Oh, that's so hard. I know, I get it. It is the protocol, and it certainly is the letter of the law. Paragraph 1, section, subsection, whatever.
I guess.
But if you're Alex Lewis and the Seneca Sting, I still don't think that brings any comfort, knowing that technically you were in the wrong, but at the same time it comes at such a delicate moment in such a delicate game, doesn't it?
But what they were saying is you can't take that into
You can't play the situation, you play the incident.
You can also look whether there's intent or not, whether it's just a complete accident. You've just got to go with the rules of the game. And I said, as well, I felt maybe he went to his pocket a little bit too early, too many cards, and he's like, again, it's the rules of the game. The referee, to them, is having the kind of game they want him to have.
I'm going to bite my lip on this one, Michael. I'm really going to bite my lip on this one. Carry on. Humber Hawks still 0-0 with the Seneca Sting down to 10 men. They had some chances that the Dying Embers did this thing. We'll see if they can pick up where they left off. The Humber Hawks have been trying to be patient, but we saw elements of some frustration at the dying end of that first half. So you wonder if the coach for Humbers just said, okay, guys, this is going to take some time. Rome wasn't built in the night, so let's just keep at it, and the result will be ours.
You do feel, though, that Anthony Gurrieri is going to be the busiest man on this park in this second half if Humber can get that attack going. But right now, that is still a big F, because they're being frustrated out there. And this is a Humber team that's used to... I mean, basically, I think you can say they steamroll their opponents. Like over the regular season, you look down here, they had a 7-0 win, a 5-0 win, another 7-0 win, another 5-0 win, an 11-0 win, a 6-0 win. How tested have they been this year?
Have they maybe met their quota? They're all goaled out, maybe, Michael?
Maybe. Well, they set a record for the most goals in OCAA regular season history with 56. But Seneca were just behind them on 50.
Cadell Thomas takes a long diagonal, nods it back into the path of, I believe, Medeiros, who is rocking a very sweet Euro-style mullet. I definitely hope those are coming back into fashion.
Oh, I hope not.
Looped ball into the area for Babawale to chase. Beg your pardon, it was actually Cadell Thomas. He tried to clip it back into the area. No one at the back post, though. And Payman Sultani in for Rashad Griffith will try and just move the troops up ever so slightly. All the black shirts bunkered into their own end, though. Thomas floated across to the back post, taken down by Francisco Thomas Serros. He gets past his man, Babawale, carries it to the touchline, gets past Babawale. Good play there by Thomas Serros. It just got a little too far out of his reach, though, and it'll be a throw-in taken quickly by the Humber Hawks as they feel they might need to be a bit urgent.
Yeah, I mean, Seneca right now, it's like they're just needing to to just keep doing what they're doing. I'm having some conversations with a local referee I know as well. I'm asking him if he thought it was a sending off, as someone just walked past it just now saying that was never a sending off.
It seems to be a topic of conversation with some of the supporters here as well. I don't know what they have in their Tim Hortons mugs, but I assume it's just coffee. Good clutch and claim there for Gurrieri. He's been under pressure all night long.
The sun and its last little vestiges in the sky just now.
Good drop kick forward. Great control there from Payman Sultani. Takes and turns on a dime up the far left-hand side for Francisco Thomas Serros.
Well, it's just a way to say to you, even with the floodlights on, it's still really dark here, and then forgot I had my sunglasses on. So I'll just take those off just now, and all of a sudden it does look a lot brighter out there.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. That's funny. It's been a long day, hasn't it?
Yeah, it did. I was like, it's really gloomy. These floodlights aren't doing the business. Yeah. I did that the other day as well.
Oh, good play there by Cadell Thomas. Cuts back to his left hook, and he's steaming across. It's a floater one to the back post. Headed straight up in the air. I believe it was Baba Wale who was there trying to reel it in. He couldn't, though. Good defense again from, I believe, Abdul Latif. Yes, he's been very good today. Leal, back post. Uccello chests it down, tried to tee himself up for a shot. Good defending by Seneca, it has to be said.
Yeah. Abdul Latif, in the semi-final, he was kind of a box-to-box, very creative. He's had to play more the DM part of that midfield role today, and he's played it to perfection. One of the standout players for Seneca in this final.
Cadell Thomas, again. Some good moves in his locker, Thomas.
Well, I mean, look at the experience he brings. I mean, he could be the first player to score a game-winning goal in a CCAA championship match and the first ever goal in CPL history. Well, obviously he's always going to have the first ever goal in CPL history, but can he add to that with a goal in a college cup final as well?
Luca Pinto gets clipped on the Achilles as he was making a cross penalty box run. It'll be a free kick for the Humber Hawks. Luca Uccello over to take. It's probably about maybe 30, 35 yards out, but it's hugging the touchline, so Uccello will definitely have to put a bit of weight behind this one to clear that wall and the first wave of defense.
Well, Humber also sending some big bodies up there. Keegan Wilson making his way up to the back of the box. You've got Thomas and Wilson back there if this ball comes through to them.
Uccello.
Wilson's kind of free from his man at the back as well.
Right-footed. It's got some sting and some pace. Gurrieri flaps at it. It flies over his head and cruises out the opposite end of the area. It's reeled back in by Cadell Thomas. All hands on deck there for the Seneca Sting. Medeiros now. Shot come cross to the back post. That'll fly off into the end zone. It'll be a goal kick for Anthony Gurrieri, who heart and throat moments there for the young keeper. He's been spot on all night long. But he got that one wrong, thankfully. Just enough defensive cover to spare his blushes.
Yeah, I mean, Gurrieri for me is in your championship team of this week. Just for his penalty save heroics, never mind anything else. He is going to have a busy afternoon ahead because a reminder, whereas all the other games before the medal games went straight to penalty kicks, if these two teams are still tied at the end of 90, they will be heading into 30 minutes of extra time. We've already had that once today. I could do without it again, I've got to say.
I was going to say, it didn't really leave you much time to put that panini back.
No, well, at least I don't have to rush and eat now before another game. This is our final game, probably my final soccer game, I think, until May. I don't think I have anything else lined up just now.
We'll keep you busy, Michael.
Yeah, hit me up if you want some commentary done.
There you go. I'll just bring you over to the house to call my FIFA matches.
Well, it's better than me playing it. You haven't seen me do that.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Probably the lesser of two evils. Great play forward by the Seneca Sting, though it has to be said. They almost picked off a pass. It was Adam Othman who almost had a walk on net. But between him and Payman Sultani, they've carved out a nice little niche for themselves here in the Humber Hawks defensive end. They just have to keep it in and, dare I say, create a chance here, Michael.
Oh, yes. It's a rare foray forward for Seneca in this half.
Can they get in a cross? Seneca, it's a low, hard one to the top of the area. Flies out. Right footed shot! What a goal! It's Steven Janjicek against the run of play. 10 men Seneca will celebrate by the corner flag. We said this match needed a goal, and what a goal. It's a screamer from Janjicek.
Absolute belter of a strike. When it fell to him, I was like, go on, son, you've got that wide open. He hit that so well. Zamata couldn't keep that out. You see what it means to Seneca. The whole bench emptied as they piled down towards that corner flag. Who saw this one coming?
What a pile driver of a hit from Janjicek. You're not going to see a sweeter hit than that. He got everything in the kitchen sink behind that one. No chance for Shemeta, who actually got down fairly quickly and looked like he might have been able to get a hand to it, but it rifles past him. And well against the run of play, this is what we show up for, Michael. The 10-men Seneca Sting are up 1-0, and that will certainly spur the Humber Hawks on as if they didn't need any more incentive.
10 minutes into the second half. Now Seneca Sting. 35 minutes they've got to hold out, and they could be lifting their 5th national championship, their first one since 2009.
You just wonder if that goal perhaps came a little bit too early. You hope they don't try and bunker now and rest on their laurels for too long.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it in the first half. They weren't going to get many chances. They had to capitalise. I think that was their first real go in the half, in this second half.
It's great defending by Adam Othman, who gets the better of Cadell Thomas. He gave up a few inches and a few pounds in the size mismatch, but it's not the size of the dog in the fight. He wins that one, a throw in the way of the men in black.
And Seneca now will just take every opportunity they can to run time off the clock.
The sun has pretty much set here at Willoughby Park now, and a little bit of a chill and a little bit of a shadow has encompassed the pitch. And the Humber Hawks are going to look to peel themselves out of that metaphorical shadow here. They've been good, Humber, but they just haven't been urgent enough. And the Seneca Sting have been very good defensively. Another free kick win there from Janjicek. Fantastic stuff for the number 5, who's done it in his own box. And my goodness, what a shot on the opposite end to open the scoring.
I can't wait to watch that one back, actually. We had an absolute perfect view here as the ball cut to him at the edge of the box. Just the way he lined up to take the shot, you thought, if you can keep this just on target, you've got a great chance. And he kept it low as well, which is more favouring the keeper, as you mentioned. Zamata got down really well to it, but just the force of it just took it past him.
Payman Sultani just got a little bit excited there. He more or less mugged Keegan Wilson. That was a definite free kick. Easy stuff for the referee there. And the Humber Hawks have the ball just outside their penalty box.
And there's some players to our right from Douglas Royals here in BC. They enjoyed that one. Big celebrations.
In the words of many of people these days, game respects game, Michael, and that was a hell of a hit at any level. Well, he creamed that one.
Also, to be honest, this is what this game needed, because the setting off has spoiled the final a little bit. There's no taking away from that. You can argue till we're blue in the face whether we think it was justified or not, but by the letter of the law, the officials feel it was. It does then spoil a game and a team's down to 10. So it was always going to be a case that the first goal was going to be massive in this, and Seneca have it now. Humber, they've just had nothing in return.
I'm going to amend something you said there, Michael. I don't think it spoiled the game, but it certainly has altered the game and the projection of the game.
Yeah, actually, because we were talking about that at half-time, that if it was 11v11, would Seneca maybe have been cut open a little bit more by Humber as they were in their provincial championship game.
And I think had Humber maybe after the red card gone ahead and scored 3-4 and really blown it open, then that I would have called a spoiled game.
That's very fair.
As it's standing right now, it's an altered game certainly, but maybe not for the worse, because we're seeing a really good display from Seneca. It's a real they're fighting from underneath. It's a real underdog performance. And then you've got the colossal reigning champions. What was it you were calling them? A dynasty of sorts.
Well, I mean, this Humber side, it is a dynasty. I mean, 6 of the last 9 titles is like phenomenal at this level.
That's a very good record, let's be honest here. That is dynasty-like numbers, especially for championships. Looks like number 22 will be coming on for the Humber Hawks here.
Oh, and here goes Latif again. Abdul Latif, he's been excellent. Little dogged midfielder there, just battling away. And the only thing I would worry about here a little bit from Seneca is they are giving up so much room on the left side for Cadell Thomas. He is just constantly in acres of room here. And the substitution that is coming up here, it is the number 22, Santino Di Bartolo, that is coming on. It's Luca Pinto making way. So they're pulling a defender off for a midfielder.
It's an interesting swap. I get what the approach is there 100%, but I can't say I had any fault in what Luca Pinto brought to the table. I actually thought he was one of the more industrious and urgent Hawks out there.
Yeah, I think the thinking probably from Michael Aquino, though, is Seneca are not going to throw numbers forward now. We can afford to get a little bit lighter at the back. Although in saying that, Di Bartolo seems to have taken up the full back position, so
perhaps maybe something physical we didn't see. Maybe Pinto was just lost for legs. They want to give him a quick break before they send him back out there. Sun officially set. We're starting to get the floodlights here on, and it's starting to look like a real Saturday Night Fever / Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting kind of atmosphere here in the CCAA Men's National Soccer Championships.
Yes, I have sung that on karaoke. It's a great song.
Well then, I'll assume you mean Saturday Night Fever by the Bee Gees.
No.
Queuing up is Medeiros. Almost got the return ball from Uccello. That was silky play. But once again, it was just a matter of a black shirt in the way. They've done just enough to stifle that final line of attack, have the Seneca Sting. They got to be patient, though. No penalties here, as Leal is battling it out with Adam Othman. Ooh, good play there. Cadell Thomas. Low hard cross. Flies out for number 6, Hussein. It was bobbling. It wouldn't really settle down.
Is that the second great opportunity he's had in this game as well? I'm sure it was Hussein in the first half that had that great opportunity.
He's had a real tough look in front of goal as Hussein. He's gone for all power, and as a result, no placement. Bit of musical chairs on the front line for Seneca. Payman Sultani, who had come on for Rashad Griffiths to start the half, will now come back off. And Rashad Griffith will come back on. Kind of reminds me of me and my forwards in men's league. We can only really go for 15 minutes at a time, so we just kind of rotate.
I was worried about Griffith, though, with the knocks that he took, and I thought that was why. I didn't think we were going to see him again.
Yeah, he took a couple noticeable knocks, and you're right. I thought he was just maybe had seen his evening end and was going for a warm shower, but probably between him and Sultani, they know they're going to be isolated. They know they're going to have to put in a real front press shift. They might just be working them in shifts.
Yeah, he might be a better hold-up guy as well. If they can get the ball to him, that is the big problem here.
He's certainly more robust than Sultani, but I think you lose a little bit of pace from Sultani, who himself looked like he was a bit of a road runner.
Patrick Geyser on that Seneca bench telling his players to try and come out and watch Cadell Thomas. Again, look at the space Thomas has got on the left here. Might not get picked up on the camera just now. He is wide open for a ball to the back of the box. This is
Adam Othman
living dangerously here for Seneca.
Adam Othman is the man tasked with probably marking him, but he's sucked in so central.
Yeah.
He literally has Leal and Cadell Thomas to mark should the ball get there. So it's a mismatch of the numbers, and they're sucked into one side. They need to get some structure back along that back line. I will agree with you there, Michael McCall. Deep throw in for the Hawks.
It's getting a little bit chippy out there, as you would expect this to get between two Ontario rivals. Another card coming out, this time to Seros, who I thought was already on that booking, but
no, I think a few people got booked for challenging against Francisco.
I knew he was involved in some of these really having a go at the linesman, though. He's going to have to watch himself here.
Well, Luca Uccello, who's also on a yellow card, was in the mix as well. I thought he was actually going to get sent off, and I thought that'll be a massive loss for the Humber Hawks to have one of your award-winning players.
Well, yeah, you're looking at your CCAA Player of the Year and how Humber Hawks need him to live up to those credentials just now. They take a goal from anyone right now to get back into this.
Yeah, I think they'd let the ball boy on to kick it into the net if they'd allow them. But right now it's Luca Uccello, I beg your pardon, a one-man wall, and you fancy Uccello here to get in a real dangerous bit of service. To the back post. It's nodded back across. Nobody really there. It's the substitute. Now Leal, who actually does well to ride a couple challenges and keep it alive. It's Atif Ali, who is making an absolute nuisance of himself against Leal, but the number 8 for the Humber Hawks did well to shirk off a few tackles and keep play rolling. Unfortunate touch there from Cadell Thomas. It goes off into touching with every second that ticks by. You can hear the Seneca Sting support just cheering on the lads.
I mean, these minutes are ticking by slowly from a Seneca point of view. I'm pretty sure the referee's still wanting to chat away to people.
Yep, Adam Othman was the man there who kind of just backed his keister into number 2, Keegan Wilson. Definite free kick. Cadell Thomas tried to skim in across. It comes off the backside of Abdul Latif. Danny Medeiros there to reel it in. Hussein for Leal. Great clearance again, this time by Joelle Elaine, number 26. Good, robust challenge there.
The thing for Seneca, though, just now as well is this goal, it changes so much for them because they've got a little bit of breathing space, they've got a little bit of wiggle room, so even if they concede here, they're just back on level terms. Obviously, they don't want to concede, but it does give them takes a little bit of pressure off them.
The CCAA Men's National Soccer Championships. This is the gold medal matchup, an all-Ontario final between the Seneca Sting, 10-men Seneca Sting after Alex Lewis was sent off, but that didn't deter them. They opened the scoring through Steven Janjicek. They lead the Humber Hawks, reigning champs. Both 2-0 in this one. It is 1-0. Can Seneca extend their lead, or will the Humber Hawks peg them back and perhaps make their own surge toward the cup? Leal.
Oh, I thought he was going to dance his way through there from our angle with the dugout being in the way. It was hard to see what was happening there.
Yeah, he went inside, he went outside, but thankfully another key interception from Joelle Elaine keeps him out.
And I think if you're looking at a heat map for this game, for this last half hour, it is just going to be red hot in this final third as the ball comes in from Cadell Thomas, and Kay threw himself at it. I think it was Kay.
It was a great opportunity, Michael. I just got caught off mic there, so thanks for filling in.
It was Kay that threw himself at that. I thought he had directed that over the keeper there, just from our angle. It was hard to tell what was happening.
So versatile, Michael McCall. He does color, he does play-by-play. Unfortunately, the Humber Hawks, man, they're coming so close. You can see what they're trying to do here. They're being very patient. The Seneca Sting, though, are they just playing with too much fire here? Do they need to clear their lines more? Do they need more play going forward? Is it too deep of a bunker? It is a very low block at the moment. They're keeping a 6-man low block, and they've dropped Thomas Saros as well, so they're invading pressure at the moment.
Humber are using the width of the pitch very well now. This is the best Humber have played in this whole game, and they're really testing and stretching this Seneca side. And I mean, it feels like every single Seneca player is just constantly behind the ball right now. Oh, a crunching tackle here, another card out, and this could be a red. I think we might be evened up here. Thought that was a second yellow, but
no, it's
apologies, it's not.
It's Keegan Wilson who is on now.
It just looked like the ref had gone back into his pocket. I thought he was about to pull a second one out there.
I was going to say, I don't doubt that he has probably a couple red cards, maybe one on the ankle, just in case the other two go missing, but it was a really rough tackle on Abdul Latif. It was Keegan Wilson, who I think owed him one from a previous foul up the field, but nonetheless, yellow card for one of the back line of the men in white.
I always have good intention of like keeping a note of who's been booked, and then I've run out of paper for this one.
Good luck on that when you need a stenographer. Yes. Abdul Latif, or I beg your pardon, it might have been actually Steven Janjicek who got crunched there. There was a couple Seneca Sting players prone on the turf. Leal. Ooh, he slipped on the turf ever so slightly, and it's gone out of play. It'll roll out for a Seneca Sting. Danny Medeiros showing a little frustration there. Can't believe the bad luck of his teammate. And Seneca are literally going to take their sweet time. There's going to be some serious gamesmanship from a time-wasting perspective, I would imagine, here from the Seneca Sting. That ball hits an arm. Referee says play on. Here comes Adam Oathman. He's got 2 or 3 shirts draped all over him. Griffith. Janjicek. Helped on to Francisco Thomas Saros. Adam Oathman, who looked like he was onside, adjudged to be offside. And the attack steams out ever so slightly for the Seneca Sting, who, after the goal, haven't had a ton of looks inside the opposition end, but that was a good little spell for them to relieve some pressure and perhaps boost spirits.
Yeah, going back to what I was saying about the heat map, it would be very interesting to see. It'd be like blue, cold as anything up this side of the pitch, and this final third is going to be red hot. But you're seeing the frustration continue to creep in here for Humber. Damien Kay, who at times this week, I've got to say, has been a little bit agitated. I think it was, again, these games are just blending into one. I think it was the first game that they had where he was mouthing off, and I thought he was going to get a yellow card for dissent, and then moments later got a yellow card for a tackle. So he was very lucky not to get a yellow card for dissent, and he's looking very frustrated out there, as a few of the players are. And I don't know whether Humber came into this thinking, yeah, we're going to win this, it's going to be quite easy for us, looking at how their game had played out in those provincial championships just a few weeks ago. I watched the highlights of that one. the whole game is up on YouTube, but I didn't have enough time to watch 2 hours of football in the build-up to this. So I watched the 10-minute highlight package and interview with Michael Aquino and stuff as well, and it just looked dominant. Obviously, when you cut down highlights, you can make anything look dominant, and it was on Humber Hawks TV network. But, I mean, it was a 4-0 victory, but they just looked absolutely clinical out there, and it's been far from that.
Good play from Adam Oathman, who is really pressing the issue. He's really keeping that back line of the Humber Hawks honest, and it's a thankless battle, as sometimes he's been pried away from his tag partner, Rashad Griffith, up front.
They've definitely gone to a back three here, Humber, as they're just pushing more forward. It looks like a 3-4-3 just now.
Leal tried to play one across the 18-yard line. I beg your pardon. No, it is Francisco Thomas Saros. Does get it right, but he can only clear it into the opposition end. You can imagine we probably have just under 30 minutes to go here, Michael.
We have played 25 in this half. We've got 20 to go.
Oh, wow. So a lot can happen here. The Humber Hawks aren't out of the woods by any stretch, but neither are the Seneca Sting.
Yeah.
Both sides have to be very delicate with what they're doing right now.
I'm sure there's some nervy fans on both sides watching this. Get in touch, let us know. Seneca fans, how are you feeling just now? Can your side hang on here? How do you feel about this battling performance with 10 men? Humber, where do you think it's gone wrong so far this afternoon? And can we find this free-flowing, high-scoring Humber Hawks side that we know is in there?
Good play from Abdul Latif again. As mentioned, he's losing the size battle head and shoulders to Cadell Thomas, but he's just putting in the effort. Another yellow card,
yeah,
I believe.
Lost count now.
Yeah, so have I. I don't think even IMB even began starting count, but it looks like it's the number, I want to say 6, Usman Hussein, who goes in the book there for the Humber Hawks. But it was all enabled by a great press by Abdul Latif, who, as I mentioned,
he's my player of the game, I think.
Could stack him on top of himself and he wouldn't be as tall as Hussein or Cadell Thomas, but he doesn't care. He's willing to fight it out with anybody. You love to see it.
It's going to be interesting. After this, we've got the award ceremony. We're going to get the honours as well, player of the tournament. Okay. And there's a few players in play here.
Ooh, Cadell Thomas stays onside. Takes on his man, right-footed shot, charge down block. Good block by Steven Janjicek, who was kind of on the back foot there after the cut-in from Cadell Thomas. But he just gets the last-ditch tackle in. It'll be a corner from the far right-hand side.
Getting ahead of myself maybe a little bit, but I think Anthony Gurrieri, if he can keep a clean sheet here with 2 big penalty shootout victories as well, could be in frame for player of the tournament.
Ball falls to the top of the box, outside of the right boot rip from Danny Medeiros. It banana bends off into touch. Unfortunate there from the number 15. You'll have to correct me, Michael, and I'm not trying to put the kiss of death on anything, but have we seen a clean sheet in this tournament yet? I don't think we have. I mean, we've seen 0-0 in regulation, which is the last game.
Yeah. No, I don't think we have.
The clean sheet across extra time would have been the last one. But
I'm trying to think of all the games I've done, and I can't even remember back to Friday at this rate.
So it was only
I've got them written down.
It was only the Trojans from our results here that have been held to 0 goals, and that went into extra time 0-0. So you feel one of the higher.
There has not been a clean sheet kept.
So you feel the Humber Hawks, who are one of the more higher scoring teams in this tournament, if they're not able to bulge the twine, then something must have to give. Good play there by Francisco Thomas Saros.
I think if you told me before this one that a 10-man Seneca team would hold this deadly Humber attack at bay, I wouldn't have believed you, just the way that I've seen them rack the goals up this week.
That being said, though, if you were a Seneca player and they gave you the option of being dropped into a 1-0 lead with 10 men and 15 minutes to go, I think they'd take it.
Yes.
They're a brave squad. They're a real brave squad.
Oh, they would bite your hand off for that.
Adam Oathman can't reel that one in. He grinds his teeth in frustration.
They're going to be under so much pressure now, though. And, I mean, for as well as they've played, I'm just waiting for this Humber equaliser. You just feel it's coming. They've turned the intensity level up a bit and they're pushing wave after wave. It's just so hard to defend again. And they're just leaving Cadell Thomas and acres of room. I keep pointing this out, and I can't be the only one that's seeing that on that Seneca bench. They must be seeing how much room they are giving up to a man like Cadell Thomas.
They're playing the ball the width of the park, back and forth, side to side, just looking to cause a mismatch. And you're right, Michael. More often than not, it's Cadell Thomas who's the man who's receiving some of those crosses.
Baba Wally they're trying to get on the end of that one. He's still got a lot of life and energy in him. Got a hat-trick against Seneca in the Ontario Championship game.
And it looks like Adam Oathman might be running out of some legs as well. He's really starting to grit his teeth just down below us. He ran out of steam trying to trace that one against Keegan Wilson, who himself looks like he's had all he can handle at this moment.
Only the third game, though, of the 4 days for these two teams. I mean, we saw a lot of tired players in that bronze medal match, but that was their 4th game.
Yeah. And it was a off day for them yesterday, so they did have a rest in between. So not to say that there's no excuse for tired legs or anything like that, but...
And Isaiah Noel coming on. He's come on as a sub in their game so far, and he's been a big presence up there, the big defender. He can get forward as well and is dangerous at the set pieces.
15 minutes to go plus added time for the Seneca Sting to do away with the Humber Hawks championship winning streak. This could be a real chance. Rashad Griffiths onside. Oh, the flag goes up, and it was Abdul Latif. If he had just kept his run onside for a half a bound there, it would have been a serious charge.
Quite a bit off, I think, I've got to say. And it's Keegan Wilson that is making way. One of the players on a booking.
Very astute observation, Michael. And yes, you were.
I think you could probably say that for anyone that comes off right now.
That is true. Everyone's playing under the cosh at the moment. But good eyes there, Michael, on that last one. To the naked eye, it may have looked like Abdul Latif had kept himself onside, but he was probably about a yard, maybe two off by the time.
I'm a little bit in a slightly different angle from you, though, so I think it was maybe harder for you to see that one.
It was clever play from Rashad Griffith, but for me, perhaps a first-time ball from, I think it was Adam Oathman might have been the first one to really release Abdul Latif, who all he's missing from this performance is a goal to his name, it has to be said.
I've been waiting for a break in play to thank some of the sponsors for this tournament, but it's just been so fast-paced in the last few minutes that I'm sure we will come to that.
You can just tell me to shut up whenever, Michael. I listen to what you say, so here come the Humber Hawks.
Enjoying this so much, you don't want to cut away from the action. And Medeiros again sending one in, and this will give us a chance now to give some recognition to our championship sponsors for making this happen. Thank you to Sport Canada, the major funding partner of the CCAA and these national championships, and to Derby Star, the official soccer ball of these national championships. And that ball gets sent into the box just now to Cadell Thomas.
And Federico Leal gets underneath it again. It was between him and Medeiros, after scooping a few over the uprights. No, it's not a touchdown, Michael. Behave. That time it falls for Leal, and he smacks it over the bar again. Their chances and their time are ticking down, are the Humber Hawks.
They certainly are. Somebody is going to be getting the Justin's official championship award ring provider rings at the end of this. There's not much time to go, and it looks like they could be sizing it up for Seneca Sting. Justin's also the presenting sponsor of the CCAA Coach and Player of the Year. Kahunaverse Sports Group, KSG, the official retailer of the CCAA National Championships and the presenting sponsor of what I am looking forward to finding out, the CCAA All-Canadians. Well, they've already given that. I'm thinking about my Tournament 11. 4 Imprint are the sponsors of the players of the match, the official ones. So that one runs through to Gurrieri. A couple more of these. Veriburn Medical Supply, official medical supply partner of these national championships, and Hoodle, the official film exchange partner of the CCAA, and Canada Soccer, national sports organisation partner of the CCAA. Thank you to all of those sponsors for making this week happen. Thank you to Langara Falcons for putting on a fantastic event as well. Hope you've enjoyed it. I think there could still be a lot more action to come though. We've got 12 minutes of this half. Oh, and the tackles are starting to fly in now, and I think another card is coming out here.
It's a cynical challenge from Hussein, who is in the books.
And the card isn't not coming out yet. And
I was going to say that has to be a yellow card, no? He clobbered the guy. He absolutely mugged him, and he was making his paces up the touchline. There was no intent to play the ball.
I mean, if he avoids a second yellow here, I am going to be very, very surprised. The referee...
Oh, wow.
Yep, letting that one go. Wow.
So the referee has chosen now to show some mercy when perhaps that should have been a second yellow.
The Seneca
Hussein?
bench are, oh no, they're just overlooking at how much time is left on the clock. I thought they were going over to speak to the fourth official there.
Hussein is probably thanking his lucky stars as he immediately realized what he'd done and made his paces so he could get out of the referee's peripheral to hopefully maybe that would subliminally take away his yellow card.
He disappeared very quickly there. As
Yeah.
Some of the other teams are on the far side of the pitch and they are cheering on Seneca here. They are rooting for the underdogs.
It's very easy to get behind an underdog story here, Mr. Miller, and it's been, you don't want to say...
Mr. Miller?
Did I say Mr. Miller?
Yeah, you've gone back to a past life.
No! Oh no!
You saying all us Scots sound the same?
No! For those listening, Colin Miller, former Canadian international, my former
getting a cat. Oh, now Ceres.
broadcast partner, and now
he is going to get sent off for simulation here.
Wow. And
Seneca down to 9 men.
Has sent him off for simulation, and this comes after what should have probably been a second yellow card.
Well, that was the thing. It's like the tackle was made there by Osman Hussein, and right away he's saying dive, and the referee agreed with him and goes over and sends it off, and then Seneca all of a sudden are now down to 9 men, and Patrick Geyser is losing it on the sidelines here. He is also on a yellow card, and we'll see if he sees this one out. His head is in his hands just now. He cannot believe that decision.
I was just in the middle of differentiating between my two Scottish color commentators, and another red card has been brandished. And regardless of the result of this one, there will be some looks on some of the key incidents in this one, and there have been no shortage, Michael McCall. That makes the uphill climb for the Seneca Sting even more surmountable.
I mean, if Humber can get a goal back here in these last 9 minutes, you've got to think they'll go on and win the championship now.
And they're going to make a substitution as well. They're going to throw some fresh legs at it, which is just what the Seneca Sting do not want to see.
And it's Noah McIntyre that is going to be coming on as Noel switches this to the far side of the pitch. There is so much still to play for in this game. It falls to Noel at the edge of the box, but he can't get that turn off. He turns inside.
Right-footed shot right at the keeper. Good claim by Gurrieri, who had to get that spot on, and it took that awkward skip off the lively turf here at the Willoughby Park. He clutches and he claims. It might be time-wasting mode now there for the Seneca Sting. That being said, they probably don't want to get booked for it, so they probably won't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to speaking to Patrick Geyser, win or lose, after this game, because I think that will be a very interesting interview if we can get him on the mic. If not, I'll just go down and speak to him myself.
Yeah, I think that might be one for behind the scenes, Michael. I don't know that we have a censor bleep ready on our broadcast here today, and something tells me Patrice might be wanting to vocalize some of his frustrations. Good clutch and claim again from Gurrieri.
If he lifts a gold medal here, he will not care.
No,
he might care a little bit.
No.
But I mean, that's tough on Ceres, who's been so good this tournament. And for me, him and Gurrieri, if Seneca went on to win this, was up there for tournament MVP.
I would certainly agree. He's been a real handful for whoever he's come against.
I think if Seneca can see this out, you've got to give the tournament MVP to Gurrieri for a clean sheet in this. That said, though, he hasn't exactly had a lot to face.
Not in this second half.
And that is surprising when you look at that Humber attack.
Leal. Carrying infield, Leal, he's dragged back from behind. Advantage played. It was Adam Oathman who clipped his man. The number 21, McIntyre, still waiting to come on the park just down below us here, Michael.
Yeah, surprising. There's not been a break of play, I guess.
Cadell Thomas. That's a good weighted cross. It's dealt with cleverly, though, by Elaine. Goes right back to the touchline. Adam Oathman scrapping it out with Cadell Thomas. He's still going at it. You love to see it from Oathman. He's going tooth and nail along that left wing. Great play there from the number 17 of the Seneca Sting, and you can hear their fans there.
Yes, Seneca's just going to have every single man behind the ball for these closing minutes.
Good win there by Janjicek, only as far as Babawale. It hits a hand. The referee gives it on the edge of the box. It was a bang-bang play.
Wow, that was right on the edge. And what a chance this is. Yeah, I mean, you've got to think Cello is going to take this, him or Liao. And it's going to be Liao, by the looks of it, that's going to take this one, as the substitution is finally made. And the man making way is Osman Hussein. Probably get him off there before he maybe gets a second yellow card.
Yeah, he's been busy, Hussein. He's put himself about here tonight.
I'm just watching Patrick Geyser. He's just going through so much on that bench just now. I don't even know who he's talking to just now, but he is just talking non-stop down there.
I think he's talking to whoever will listen, yes. Michael. There's a substitution. McIntyre, who's a rangy lad. He's got some height on him, too. That might come just in handy for this set piece. It'll be Liao here.
Yeah,
and it's a very good opportunity. Yeah. Right-footed Liao off the crossbar. Oh, it's a ball width away from equalizing this one. Liao hit it so sweet, but it smucks off the upright. And Seneca and their goal are living a charmed life at the moment. Still 1-0.
Got to say, see, as soon as that left his foot, I thought that was top corner.
It just didn't have enough dip on it. We're now getting a look at Francisco Tomaseros just down below us as he's making his paces back to the locker room. And he looks hard done by.
Yeah, he looks absolutely gutted. And if his team don't hold on here, he's in tears just below us. I mentioned I was messaging with a local referee, and I obviously will not say who he is. Does not agree with that call at all. Says you do not give a second yellow for simulation in that area of the pitch. This is a very experienced referee.
Yeah, I'm going to tend to agree with your experienced friend. Handball there.
I was going to say there's a handball. Is that going to get called? But it is going to get called, and Humber are quickly on with this one. They've got a 2-man advantage. They weren't able to make that 1-man advantage pay.
There's been some real inconsistency with handball calls in this tournament. It's either been not called or some select handballs have been called, so it's been very tough to follow for, I'm sure, the fans as well as the broadcasters.
This is just going to be camped now, the Hawks, in this Sting half.
4 minutes to go plus stoppage, Michael McCall.
I think there's going to be a good few minutes of stoppage time.
Tackles flying in. Medeiros, does he go down? Shot just wide of the post. It didn't take a touch. It should be a goal kick. Excellent judgment there by Gurrieri. He could have put a touch to it, but he let it fly past.
I've also got to say, I thought that was a foul on Medeiros there. I thought he was nudged off the ball. I think it was a good penalty shout for Humber.
I'm going to wait to see the instant replay on that one. Mr. McCall, it was a sea of bodies, though.
It was, but
the referee was right there.
There was a little nudge on him.
If he saw something, it definitely was right in the referee's wheelhouse.
And to be fair, there wasn't huge appeals by Humber.
No, there certainly wasn't, and it actually amounted to a shot afterwards, which I think is what happened. I think he, not that you play advantage on a penalty, but I think he saw it coming back out, and it was a close rip. Another real three-quarter half chance there for the Humber Hawks, who only have 3 minutes now plus stoppage to play with. All hands on deck for the Seneca Sting.
Imran Abdul Latif as well, still full of running. If they can just get the ball up to him to take that to the corner flag just now. The problem, though, for Seneca is they just can't get the ball.
Abdul Latif is whipping around like a Tasmanian devil. He cannot be stopped at the moment. He is first to everything. He's been up and down the park. The Seneca Sting supporters trying to will on their club. Cross into the area, helped on to the top of the box. Gurrieri is there. He will shield it out. It'll be another goal kick for the Seneca Sting, which eats a little bit of time off the clock.
Babawali just couldn't bring that one down, and the rookie, the star rookie for Seneca Sting coming on, number 7, Joshua Allegra is coming on for Adam Othman. And Joshua Allegria, I was a bit surprised he hasn't been getting the start. I don't know if he's taken a knock or whatever. 7 goals and 8 assists on the regular season for the rookie forward. He's going to have fresh legs if they can get the ball up to him, and a deadly finish as well.
He's going to have fresh legs, but he's going to have the grimy task of being one of those 9 men to see out what is going to be a real hands-on-deck effort for his squad with now 2 minutes. Make that a minute and a half plus stoppage to go. Good clearance there by Janjicek.
I'm sure Seneca aren't thinking that the job is done yet. They can't afford to think that the job is done. It's just so dangerous still out there. They need to try and run these times down. Humber just have to try and get something clicking. They've been coming closer and closer.
Is it going to be a free kick? I've just lost track of the ball. It is right at the halfway line. It's Liao. He will put in a frozen rope to the back post. It flies the width of the area. It looked like it was offside. It'll be across.
Oh, it's an own goal.
And it's actually an own goal that undoes the Seneca Sting. It is so unfortunate for the men in black. It is cruel as you get, and it looks like this game, barring something very late, will be headed for extra time.
90th minute equaliser. Absolutely heartbreaking. I didn't quite see who it came off there, but I mean, you can hear the silence around here as well. I think we know who the fans in attendance were wanting to win this one, and
it's good play for the Humber Hawks, who have kept at it, and the referee
get a sending off on the bench as well, and it is going to be the assistant coach for Seneca Sting, who's still having a go at the referee here. I can see the frustrations in the team, I've got to say.
I can certainly understand the frustrations as well, and the referee was very happy to brandish that red card, as he's been getting an earful from the Seneca Sting bench for a good portion of the match here. It's so cruel on the men in black, who, yes, they're on level terms, but that's about as deflating a manner as you can concede an equalizer in, especially in a championship gold medal game. And it has to be said that the refereeing decisions will loom heavy over this gold medal matchup. 5 minutes to go here.
That's Patrick Geyser was down on the bench. He was staring at the fourth official to see how much time was going up, and I'm sure that is not a figure he wanted to see. I mean, all of a sudden now, Seneca, who had almost got those medals around their neck, are hanging on for grim life here.
And that ball came out of play. It did. That'll be a goal kick. We have a Seneca Sting player now down in a heap just past the goal line now, and that's the last thing they need is an injury to add a bit of trouble to already a 9-man squad. The last thing they need is to lose some of their recruits.
And that goal has just, it seems to have sucked the energy out the Sting here a bit, and it's like they need to pick themselves back up. There's another half hour coming for them if they can see out these 5 minutes. We've already played 1 minute of the stoppage time, and
raking cross to the near right touchline. No players there for the black shirts, who we assume this will probably go to an extra 30, and that might be the longest 30 minutes of their young soccer lives as they try and get it to PKs.
I mean, they are just going to have to hold on here. We talked about earlier, was it going to be a 1-1 scoreline and a PK? That has been Seneca Sting's MO for this tournament. Offer them that now, they will take that.
If you're just joining us, it was an opener for the 10-man Seneca Sting from Steven Janjicek before star player Francisco Thomas Serros was sent off for embellishment. A late own goal equalized for the Humber Hawks in the 90th minute. Just about maybe 3.5 minutes left to go here, I would assume.
Yeah, just
and extra time beckoning.
It's so tough for Seneca. I don't know what they've still got left in their tank, because they've been under the cosh for a lot of this game, but they've held a very solid defensive line.
Headed back into the back post. I believe it was Uccello who flicked it off the top of his head, and it just carries past the far left post of Gurrieri, who is rooted to his line there, Michael.
Yeah, it just feels like they're just bending just now, and I think the good thing for them is that goal, it came at the end of the half. If there was more than these few minutes remaining, I don't know that they could have held on here. I think they'll get through to extra time, but that's going to be a tough task for them now.
That being said, if you're on the visual here, picturesque looking scene. Here comes the Seneca Sting. They're taking on their men. Here comes the substitute, number 7. Cuts back to his left foot. Was he dragged back? Roulette still going, brought down. Could have been a clip in the area. Definite argument there for certain. Good endeavor there by the number 7, Joshua Allegria, to really press the issue. And there's a foul against number 11, Cadell Thomas. Yeah, it's all heating up now, Mr. McCall.
Yeah, I think Thomas is one of the players that is not on a yellow card just now, although he's about to get one.
He is now.
Referee just checking to see. In fact, it's actually going.
Luca Uccello already has a yellow card.
No, it's going towards the Sting player.
Oh, wow. Every player on the park more or less have a yellow card to their name.
It feels like that. Well, at the end of this half, actually, we'll go and check with the referees, assessors who are obviously keeping a note of this, because I genuinely am intrigued as to how many yellow cards have been handed out.
I thought he was sending off Luca Uccello.
I thought he was as well. First of all, I thought it was Thomas, and then it's not Thomas.
Long diagonal ball, about knee height. Cadell Thomas, nobody marking him. He's well onside. Can he keep it in? He does. Janjicek to Medeiros. Cross into the area. Dealt with on the side foot. It falls out for number 4. Cuts it back to his left foot. Can he unleash when he does? Left footer! Just wide!
It takes a touch on the way through. Otherwise, that was nestling in that top corner.
My goodness.
Wow.
Probably about a foot just wide, or we might have had a very dramatic ending to this one.
I'm sure this is feeling like the longest 5 minutes in Seneca Sting history just now. We're still got 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, I was looking at the clock as well. It's a header for the number 5. Mczarski, whose name we haven't called a ton. He had the chance to win the gold medal at the death there.
I tell you, I thought
point blank, too.
Thought Isaiah Noel was going to do it as well when he unleashed that shot. He did everything right to get that shot off. And you've got to give full credit to Humber. After that goal, they've just lifted themselves. They would like to have got this done over the 90 minutes. This should be the last action, though, off the half.
Clearance
or not.
by Gurrieri, let to be run by number 7, Joshua Allegria. There is the regulation whistle from the referee. Plenty of talking points in that first half, which I think we'll continue to discuss, not just amongst ourselves here, Mr. McCall, but certainly amongst the supporters here. We are going to get some extra time here in the gold medal game, tied 1-1 between Seneca and the Humber Hawks. We'll take a very quick break here at Willoughby Park, and we'll come back with the 2 extra frames at the CCAA Men's National Soccer Championship. Welcome back to Willoughby Park here in Langley, BC, host venue of the 2022 CCAA Men's National Championship. To extra time we go in the gold medal game between both Ontario squads, the Humber Hawks and the Seneca Sting. If you're just joining us, no lack of drama and controversy. 2 controversial red cards for the Seneca Sting saw them go down to 9 men. They opened the scoring before a late dramatic equalizer from an own goal got the Humber Hawks on level terms. They had a point-blank chance to take the victory at the death as well, but as it stands, 30 more minutes of soccer here to determine the gold medal. If not, we will head straight to sudden death, or as I like to call them, sudden victory penalty kicks, Mr. McCall.
I don't know that we'll get a sudden victory. I think if there's going to be a sudden victory, it could be coming from Humber in this extra time period. This is a tall order for Seneca, but hey, they have battled so well today, you would not put anything past them. I was trying to work out how many bookings there's been. There's been 9 bookings in the game. One was a double booking for Ceres that got sent off. So,
only 9, eh?
Yeah, I think what I said as well. I thought it felt a lot more.
I would have thought more like 9 per team, but here I stand corrected.
Because I was wanting to keep a track of this, because I feel the cards are going to continue to fly in extra time. And one thing to keep an eye on, I think, is the Seneca bench, because if Humber do go ahead here, I think that is going to explode down there.
Yeah, I think that dugout will it'll be like that UBC game you called a couple of weeks ago where the tents were cartwheeling, except for it'll be the dugout and it'll be the coach throwing it.
I can't blame him. No. I genuinely cannot blame him because he was so close to landing a national title.
And by the way, viewers/listeners, it probably sounds like we're on the Seneca Sting train here. But we're actually very unbiased neutrals here from BC. We're just calling the game we have in front of us.
Yes.
But we definitely understand the feelings and the emotions that are going on in that Seneca Sting bench. Because whether it's been from a player or a fan perspective, we've all been on the end of some of those calls, haven't we, Michael?
Yes, and you haven't called a Humber game this week. I have, and I've been very complimentary to Humber. They have impressed the hell out of me this week. They are such a good team, and they haven't shown it, to be fair, today. And I think Seneca's done a good way of cancelling out all their danger men.
And just with the incidents as well, they've kind of been cast subliminally as the kind of the antagonists in this game, haven't they?
Because you look around here, and I mentioned there's all the other teams that's going to be here for the closing ceremonies and stuff, and there's supporters here. And when Humber scored that 90th minute equaliser, usually at a championship game you hear lots of cheers or whatever. It was fairly quiet.
It was a pin drop, it certainly was. And once again, we're not trying to paint the Humber Hawks as the villains, but they are the double reigning champs and have benefited from, let's call some controversial refereeing.
Well,
so I think subliminally the fans' minds go to the underdog. Cross into the area, good header away. It'll be a corner kick. I believe it was the goal scorer Janjicek who maybe got ahead on that one. Good clearance.
I do feel you jinxed it as well for Seneca by saying that there hadn't been a clean sheet all tournament. Just pointing that fact out, and then they conceded.
I just bring the facts to the table, Michael. Do with them what you will. Another substitute coming up for Seneca. Payman Sultani going to come back into this one. Cross to the back post. Header straight down by, I believe it was Mekzarski. And he gets nothing but black shirt, and we have a player down for the Seneca Sting who, down to 9 men, the last thing they need is more depletion of the numbers, Mr. McCall.
Yeah, and there's tensions are definitely rising up there. The Seneca players are in the face of the referee after every decision right now. And he's in a lot of pain down there as well.
I didn't see who the player was.
I didn't either, but
they're calling for a substitution. They're making the rolling of the fingers motion.
Wonder if this will change the sub that was going to come on.
Payman Sultani is queued up at the halfway line. If you're just looking at it, the visual we have on the stream now, lovely little sky.
Beautiful. Oh, you've not backdrop. Had this, of course, because you've been doing the morning games.
I did all the morning games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this has been
picturesque. It's almost like a postcard here.
Yep.
If Vancouver FC, the new CPL club who will play their games here as the home pitch, if they wanted to release a calendar or a series of, scenic landscape style postcards, it's a good start.
Can have Rob Friend posing in front of it.
Yeah. I don't know if Rob Friend would go for that, but we can certainly pitch it to him. We're still dealing with this injury inside the 6-yard box of the Seneca Sting, and it does not look good. The lad, we still haven't gotten a number either. He hasn't moved a lick, and now the physio crew is just checking up on him to make sure that.
It's a cold night now out there as well, so when you're down, you're going to start seizing up a little bit. these tackles are going to hurt a bit more. The cramp's going to be kicking in. Oh, and there's a bit of urgency here. They're calling for something. I don't know if it's a stretcher or...
It might have to be a stretcher. He'll probably have to go off the far side of the park.
Oh,
Payman Sultani now.
Thought it was a substitution that was getting made there.
Yeah, Payman Sultani jumped the line there and tried to get into the match, but an LED board hasn't even gone up. And we still have a player down on the far side of the park.
If you have just joined in, where have you been? You've missed some drama and a half. But both the goals in this one coming in the second half. The opener for Seneca Sting, Stephen Janjicek in the 55th minute. Then the 90th minute, a heartbreaking own goal from a Seneca point of view. A euphoria building goal from a Humber point of view to tie things up. 2 sending offs in this one. Alex Lewis, just 11 minutes in, seen a straight red card for a trailing leg that caught Holger Zameta in the Humber goal. Seneca had fought back with that one-man disadvantage to take the lead, but then they went down in the 81st minute to another, what was a second yellow card for Francisco Thomas Serras, booked for what we think was simulation after a tackle on him by a player that a couple of minutes before that we both feel should maybe have had a second yellow himself.
I'll put myself as most definitely probably should have had a second yellow himself.
I mean, that's certainly going to be a big talking point after this one for a long time to come, is worryingly for Seneca, the player down. We didn't get a look here at all. He's getting helped up off the field. We'll try and get a...
Oh, he's being carried off, actually.
I mean, where is the stretcher? You've got to...
No, absolutely.
To say, but at least that is the end of the pitch where the dressing room is. And it is Griffith that is making way. Rashad Griffith for Payman Sultani.
Yeah, I don't think it was Griffith, the lad that went down. Oh, perhaps it was. It actually was Griffith.
I'm just looking there. And
it actually was Griffith who went down in the box.
That was going to be the sub anyway, strangely enough.
Yeah. That's unfortunate because Griffith did pick up an early knock in this one, and he was kind of forced into musical chairs with Sultani as they tried to keep both of them fit and ready to press from the front, especially down men. So
yeah, you can't put any weight on that foot just now. That looks a real bad one for Rashad Griffith.
And it's a tough end of the night for Griffith, who you feel probably would have been one of the penalty takers had he been in shape enough to take it, should the Seneca Sting be able to get there. At the moment, uphill climb against the Humber Hawks. Yes, it's tied 1-1, but down to 9 men. It's almost a playing of the odds of sorts.
I mean, you're at the stage now, if you're a Seneca player, of you just want to just keep the ball out of your half. It doesn't matter if you're just clearing up the pitch and there's nobody up there. You just want it out of your final third. The problem is the way that Humber move this ball about, as just now it comes back in very quickly.
Medeiros, he's waiting there for a ball, but it just didn't squirt out to him. It was the number 5, Alex Mekzarski, who is causing trouble down the right-hand side. Medeiros now in a battle with Abdul Latif. Good clearance there by Abdul Latif, but he just didn't have any black shirts to play the ball to. Cadell Thomas now, who's been on his bike for the better portion of the last 25 minutes or so. He's been highly influential on for the Humber Hawks and just creating anything. Look at the moves on Cadell Thomas, my goodness. Ball to the back post from Noel. Top of the area, Mekzarski. Leal. That's a half-hearted ball forward, and Abdul Latif. Ball wouldn't really set up for him, but he's able to poke it forward for Nerona. Nerona has maybe touched the ball twice since coming onto the park, and he came on quite a bit of time ago, so it's been a thankless work up front for the number 20.
I mean, Allegria that they brought on late is a guy that can cause problems to this Humber team. He hasn't really had a sniff of the ball either, but a nice long ball over the top for him to run onto is possibly Seneca's best chance of getting back ahead in this one.
And Seneca, time very much not of the essence. They're doing everything they possibly can to stretch out some of their possession here.
I mean, they must be dead on their feet because they've just defended so much. As another Seneca player down under a challenge there as well, and they're dropping like flies.
Don't look past Imran Abdul Atif, though, because he has not stopped running. I don't know what was in his Gatorade or his orange slices, but Abdul Atif has shown that he's a real specimen as far as from a stamina or endurance point of view. He has just kept on motoring, has Abdul Atif.
Oh, he has. I mean, for me, he's the player of the game. That could obviously change if we see somebody banging a few goals in this extra time period, but the worrying thing for Seneca, I mean, you don't know how much of these injuries are. Let's just run some time of the clock. Obviously, in Griffith's case, it certainly wasn't because he was in a lot of discomfort.
Yeah.
Still can't quite see who is down here or being blocked by the fourth official. It's our turn to shout at the fourth official now.
I'll let you do that one, Michael. You've already got plenty of experience in that column. Not seeing the number here. It's actually number 5,
the
goal scorer, Janjicek,
yes.
who's
He's
part of that.
very far up the pitch.
I was going to say he's part of that defensive line.
Yeah.
And the last thing you want to do is start switching defensive players, especially after he's been so good in this matchup.
I mean, we haven't seen it back. We're not sure who the own goal came from. I think it might have come off Janjicek as well, but I don't want to put the blame on him for that. He didn't know anything about it, just came flashing in towards him. It was either him or I think possibly Toniolo. It was one of those two that the ball just cannoned off.
Humber back into the center dot. A little bit of fog and haze is now kind of starting to drift over top here.
That would just add to the drama.
Yeah, it's a proper Canadian late fall, early winter setting for a good game of footy. The hot cocoa will surely be wheeled out after this one, as number 7, Joshua Allegria, is going to chase down the keeper. Shameta. Uccello, who, I don't want to put the kiss of death on it if I'm a Seneca Sting fan, has been rather quiet in this one. Ball into number 9, Damien Kay, well cleared there. Uccello feathered through a nice little 10-yard pass, but Kay just couldn't turn and spin and smack it in. It'll be a corner kick.
Got a couple of interesting refereeing discussions that we can have at the switchover of this one. You're shaking your head like, oh,
I feel like we could go on
now?
I feel like we could go on a couple of days about this one, Michael. So once that full-time whistle goes, I might just put it to bed. Ooh, there's a stern tackle.
And it's one that hurts him at the same time.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I had a yell of, "Are you kidding me?" there, I think, from the Seneca fan. It was a free kick. I'm not sure why he can say, "Are you kidding me?" He cleaned him out.
The referee got that one right. It was a swing and a miss from a lane, and all he got was shin bone on the opposition player if there was ever a free kick.
And there was Mczarski, who is a centre-back and was the defensive player of the year in the OCAA, and playing a very advanced role because obviously they can afford to push those players forward, and he has been deadly at set pieces this week.
And Leal has already
heading them in.
Leal's already smacked the crossbar from almost a carbon.
And it was closer than this as well. And we're saying he just needed to be back a little bit. Now he is.
This might
back a little bit.
Leal just right. Short run up. And this one he gets
after that build up
way underneath. We gave him all the plaudits. And unfortunately it's an air shot. No, Michael, not a touchdown. Put your hands down. Still 1-1 here, as this first half of extra time is ticking down, and with every slip-up or mistake, you can hear the cat calls and the Bronx cheers from some of the Seneca Sting, who are dipping into their gamesmanship back to try and spur on the Sting.
The Seneca chants are starting. I don't know, there are Humber fans here, but they've gone very quiet. I'm not sure
they've gone into hiding or something. Perhaps on the far side of the pitch, which actually has filled out quite nicely.
Well, it's all the teams coming in as well, and
you've got we've
got the Holland guys over there. We've got the Sate Trojans.
Here comes Seneca. Can they
get
something going forward? It's Allegria.
It's their first foray forward, I feel, in this half.
Oh, Abdul Latif, if maybe he just stayed on his feet there, I think he controls that.
But now they've committed numbers forward, and they're short at the back for Kay to chase down.
Ooh!
Oh, Gurrieri had to make sure he got to that one.
That was slip and slide goalkeeping there. When he came off his line, I thought, oh no.
Third red card of the day.
But he got it just right. I don't think I've ever seen a tackle like that ever. He started the sliding tackle at his 6-yard box and won it at the 18-yard line. Fantastic stuff there from Gurrieri, who defies physics with that tackle.
Kay must have just thought, oh, here we go, this is my chance. And like he was just inches away from getting to that and poking it over the keeper as well.
Yeah, it was very clever play, and he was on the edge of the 18-yard box, Gurrieri.
Last 30 seconds now off the first half. There will be time added on, though, because there has been a couple of stoppages.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Gurrieri is an Italian last name, and some of the best keepers.
5 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this half.
Oh, it's in the box. Sklav shot. It's number 7, Abdulaziz Babawale. Gurrieri, though, as mentioned, Italian keepers, very wise. He's taking it over the corner to burn some time.
Oh, well, yeah, you Italians know how to run the clocks down in games.
The dark arts. The dark
arts.
I
love it, though. So I'm not complaining.
And if you're Seneca Sting, I don't think they're that dark arts at this stage. They're probably very light arts.
Want to find a few more Italians to send out there just now.
Of course, plenty of Italian flavor. You got Luca Uccello out there as well.
I could really do with that car's headlights not being on in our face right now as the ball goes towards it.
Yes, can the owner of the BMW SUV license plate number 555 please turn off your lights? You're beaming Michael McCall's
I had this
retinas.
the other night as well, one of the night games. It was very irritating.
Camera lady Jillian also uttering that sentiment that perhaps the high beams could go off for this occasion. Thomas. Ooh, trying to find.
Great defensive play again here from Seneca. I mean, whatever happens now for the Seneca Sting, they can take so much from this. Ooh. But they want to take a gold medal. What a little bit of play there that was by Allegria.
That was a little bit of you take it, I got it. And it actually, they did well not to get picked off, as it looked like the Humber Hawks were ready to smell out the danger and pounce on that one. Ball up the line. Awkward height ball, too. It's almost like collarbone down by the far side winger, who I believe is Di Bartolo, who's been very quiet since coming on. And that suits Seneca just fine. They want to keep this as quiet as possible.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got a perfect record in penalty shootouts, so if it does get the kicks, you could argue advantage Sting. That being said, they are missing Griffiths, Saros,
players, to take them.
And their other forward, Alex Lewis. So more their attack-minding penalty takers who probably would have been on the park for this won't get to
That's a very good point, actually, yeah. They're missing 3 very key potential penalty takers.
Might have to dip into the reserves because, as we mentioned, Michael, penalties are one of those things where you want your confident players who like to take penalties taken, and the last thing you want to do is put some lad in his uncomfort zone and really force the issue.
Well, I mean, the thing is, these are 2 young teams as well, so the pressure's really going to go up for them. Some of them may never play in a national championship game again.
Side-footed away, Janjicek. This actually looks good for...
Oh, a quick break, but they can't commit the numbers. That's the problem here.
Good play there by Sultani. Tries to play a through ball for Lowell Elaine, who's made a run from defense, but now he's got to get himself all the way back. Might have not been the time to do that. Good win, though, on the head by the defender, Toniolo, to just snuff out the danger and allow Elaine enough time to make a 100-yard run back to his own defensive end.
That's what you want. Like, if you're Patrick Geiser just now, you want that commitment from your players that are just going to run end to end to try and get the job done for your team. 5
minutes of added time, Michael. I'm looking at your Dayglow watch here.
Yeah, we've got 2 more minutes left. Oh, the tackle's still flying in. Seneca look a tired team out there.
Babawale, low hard cross in. That one's acrobatically cleared by Elaine. It's going to be another cross into the area, this time by Cadell Thomas. No, he'll defer to Babawale. Left-footed, cuts back to his right foot. Cadell Thomas there in support. Uccello in the mix as well. Abdul Latif just boxed out by a group of white shirts. Uccello, square. Medeiros tried to uncork one on the left foot. He's had his shooting boots on, Medeiros, as far as wanting to shoot.
Oh.
He just hasn't had them on as far as the precision. I believe it was Elaine who took that one off the back of the head, but he picks himself right back up. Good stuff to see there from the number 26.
Taya Lee always got one hell of a shot on him. There's a chance here for Allegria.
Oh, Allegria, has he dragged back his man? The referee says yes. It looked like he did drag back the man, to be fair.
No complaints there. It was more than a drag back. He just took him by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, he horse-collared him, Cadell Thomas.
That was the phrase I was looking for.
It was a good back-tracking run, though, from Cadell Thomas. 1-2 finds Uccello by the near post. Cuts it across. Palm! And it's into the empty net. It's Leal! After Uccello sees his cross get finger poked by Gurrieri, he couldn't control the rebound and is so cruel at the dying embers of this first stoppage time. 2-1 Humber Hawks with 15 to play.
4.5 minutes in the first half stoppage time and extra time. Leal, right place at the right time. I was just saying what a shot he's got on him, and cueing the celebrations, and the Seneca bench just look absolutely gutted. The Seneca players look absolutely gutted. That has just been a gut punch for them.
It's heartbreaking stuff for the Seneca Sting, who were kind of playing the odds games. They can only absorb so much pressure down two men with bodies dropping and legs tiring. They finally break after doing lots of bending. And you hate to be a pessimist, but you feel that might do it for the Humber Hawks, and it might just be the goal to put them over the top.
I mean, it's hard to see them having anything to get back into this now, but hey, never say never. I was speaking about my team East Fife earlier and how they'd gone down to 10 men and had taken the lead, much like Seneca. They lost it to a stoppage time penalty today.
Oh, God, my God.
So it's
you cursed it from the beginning,
yes.
Didn't you? I'm just kidding. Here comes Seneca. They're going to try and press this issue. Payman Sultani, great dribble into the area now. Cuts back, right-footed shot, charged down. It's a good block as well. And there will be the halftime whistle of extra time. We will take a less than a 5-minute break, and we come back for the final 15-minute portion. As it stands in this gold medal matchup, the Humber Hawks leading the Seneca Sting in all-Ontario battle 2-1. Back with more in a short period of time. Welcome back to Willoughby Park in Langley, BC, home of the 2022 CCAA Men's National Soccer Championships. This is the gold medal matchup. We're now into the second half of extra time with the Humber Hawks leading their provincial rival Seneca Sting, 9-men Seneca Sting, 2-1, 15 minutes to play here. Substitution for the Hawks. They're going to bring Osman Hussein back on, and he's on a yellow card for the goal scorer Leal. And they'll also bring the Seneca Sting will Adam Othman back onto the park as well for some fresh legs. Just waiting to kick off here in this second half of extra time. And you feel that barring a mini miracle from the Seneca Sting, it might be the Humber Hawks extending their dynasty, won't it, Mr. McCall?
I think, though, they're going to make a documentary about one of these teams. It's either going to be the dynasty for the Hawks, making it 7 national titles in the last 10 years, or it's going to be the comeback of comebacks from Seneca Sting.
Gurrieri.
They'll be building a statue for someone, possibly the referee in Humber, but
Behave, Michael. Gurrieri, he laced one right up the middle of the park, and it was really to no one in particular, and Luca Uccello almost rammed it right back down the Seneca Sting's throat, but some good defense from the Sting, who they'll feel hard done by the soccer gods tonight.
Yeah, we've got to say, though, like Humber have done such a job. They fought to the very end of regulation and tied things up, and then they knew it was going to be difficult, this two-man advantage, trying to make it pay and trying to break down this Seneca Sting defence. But now Seneca, they've been on the back foot for the whole game, defending. They had that lead and they were defending. Now it's totally different for them. They have to be on the front foot. They have to take the game to Humber whilst down 2 men, and it's just hard to flick the switch like that.
It's a tough ask, and you're starting to see some of the legginess even from the most endeavorous of players. Sultani, Joshua Allegria even looking lack for legs.
I mean, if you look over the course of the season, this Humber Hawks side unbeaten on the year, and they've gone unbeaten before. When I think it was the 2016 Humber Hawks went unbeaten to win the national title that year, and this team is just so good. And it's so young as well. Like Cadell Thomas, although we spoke about his experience in CPL, he's a rookie for this team. So they've got a good few years. This is a Humber Hawks side that's going to dominate CCAA for many years to come.
Abdul Latif played a great 10-yard ball up the field for Adam Othman, but I think Othman thought there was a player behind him waiting for the pass, and he let it run. Unfortunate, as it was a tidy little spell of play. Here comes Sultani. Still going Sultani, looking for options. We will have the medal ceremonies immediately following this one. Might be a dash abbreviated just due to the length of the broadcast here today, but they will deal out the bronze, silver, and gold medalists. We already know the bronze medalist from Laval, Quebec, the Nomade de Montmorency. And we have a good idea of who might be claiming the gold medal here if the rest of this game goes to plan for the Humber Hawks.
Your player of the game as well, you have to now switch it a little bit. When it was looking good for Seneca, you're now looking at a Humber point of view, and I think Liao's been a good shout. Obviously got the winning goal. I don't just like giving a player of the game just because he's got the winning goal, but he has been good out there.
Yeah, I've liked Cadell Thomas as well.
Yeah, first half he was quiet, second half he really came on to it.
I agree. I've been surprised by how quiet Luca Uccello has been today.
Yes, he has not had the games that we've seen in the past from him.
Down by Seneca, shot from Abdul Latif. It takes a hop off the turf. Ooh, and Chameta had to be spot on with that claim there, and he
didn't get the power that he needed on that. Everything else about it was right, just couldn't fully connect on it, and too many bounces really.
Yeah, it took a little bit of the sting off him. I thought just because with a little bit of dew and mist settling on the turf, it might give it a little extra skip, some
moisture.
It's
very dewy out there because our notes and our paper that's in front of us here is getting really, really wet just now as I'm tidying them up.
We got
these are like
referee's assistant next to us. He's got his gloves on, and he's showing us we got a bit of an ice rink down below us, Michael. There you go. It's okay, Michael. Don't be scared. It's just ice.
I had to defrost the car this morning to get up to here. I don't want to defrost it again to get back. Once the sun drops here, though, it just goes cold like this. It's going to make for some interesting night games for Vancouver FC in the CPL.
Luca Uccello dispossessed. The number 11, Sultani, tried to reel it in. He couldn't get it by the far touchline. Di Bartolo did just enough to stifle his movement. And the Humber Hawks are going to try and put the nail in the coffin here. Seneca Sting, though, you have to applaud the bravery and the endeavor here. Great play by Abdul Latif. Oh, he's dispossessed, though, and this could be dangerous. It's 3-on-3. Great play there by Medeiros. He just couldn't get past the last line of defense with Janjicek. Can't imagine a ton of time remaining in this one, Mr. McCall. It looks like...
Oh, no, because I forgot to start my stopwatch again.
Probably about 10 minutes, maybe just under. It's a fantastic color commentator, everybody, but don't ever hire Michael McCall as a timekeeper. Baba Wale now.
I think it's just 5 minutes left, actually.
To Medeiros. 5 minutes left. Wow, time ticking by.
Yeah, this has flown by. Oh, there is 10 minutes left.
Shot from Baba Wale. No. Now Babawale is going to have a rip, and he skies it over the bar. It should be 3-1. He was from an acute angle, Babawale, but probably wanted to at least hit the target.
Yeah, there's 10 minutes left. It's 110 that's played. I just saw the 10 on the screen, but it's because I haven't got the 3 digits. So it's 110 played.
Yes, 10 minutes in North America is like 5 in Scotland, so it all makes sense. There's a conversion rate there. Good win there by Abdul Latif. He played it a bit early, though.
Ooh, Allegri just throwing himself in on the challenge there.
My heart was in my throat there because I thought Allegri is throwing in a real beefy tackle here. I wonder if he'll get anybody, but thankfully for him and the player he was challenging, nobody worse for wear, and he doesn't force the referee into brandishing yet another card.
Well, a few more sending offs will get the game abandoned. So.
Oh, wow. Gurrieri laces it forward. I think some of his teammates were wondering why he was taking his sweet time.
Yeah.
Alain to the far right touchline. He's looking for Janjicek. Janjicek, does he get past his man? He wins a deep throw-in. Good play by Seneca here, who 2 men down are doing their best to try and get the ball up the park and really make a game of this.
I mean, full credit to Seneca. They've had to go for it in these 15 minutes, and they are doing their best with this 2-man disadvantage, but they risk this danger.
That ball went out of play for, I believe it was McIntyre on the far left-hand side, who hasn't had a ton to do since coming on as a substitute. He's more or less made up the numbers, and that's not to disrespect his contribution, but we haven't called his name a ton here. He's kind of been lost in the shuffle. Uccello. Good play there by Atif Ali to shimmy and shake the number 10 for the Humber Hawks. Long ball forward over the top, looking for Abdul Latif. It's knotted back into the path of payment. Sultani takes a touch. Can he play it for his man at the back post? He does. Referee saw a foul, elects to play on. I might have given
I don't see how that was that big an advantage, I've got to say, to Seneca, as opposed to a free kick on the edge of the box.
Yeah, part of me would have taken a free kick on the edge of the box as opposed to a very slim advantage by the corner flag. Tough sledding there for the Seneca Sting. The Humber Hawks, though, they won't care. They're going to play on with Uccello and now Babawale. Oh, good play here. It finds Hussein onside. Great stop there by Gurrieri, as Hussein had another point-blank chance. This time he manages to keep it on net, but it stopped. And once again, you could argue that Hussein probably shouldn't even be on the park.
I was going to say, what a story then that would be if the goal that put the game to bed is the player that arguably should maybe not still be on the pitch right now.
I think that would be a little bit of salt in the wound for the Seneca Sting.
Yeah, Patrice Geyser would be, he's just a curled in there, he's mumbling away, he's not a happy man, and you cannot blame him for that as well. But he has to be so proud of how his team have played.
You've been almost able to count the stages of his emotions. He went from pure rage to frustration. Now he's almost succumbed to the fate that the Seneca Sting might just have to go home with a silver medal in their pocket, which by any stretch of the imagination is a great accomplishment in this tournament. But it's just the nature and how this all went down that I think is going to leave a sour taste in the mouth.
That's what we shouldn't forget as well. Seneca Sting coming in to this tournament as the wild cards after their very strong unbeaten season up to that championship game, and this is going to be their 4th CCAA silver medal. 83, 87, 2002 and now 2022. It's going to be their first medal of gold and silver since 2009 when they won the gold.
Be a last corner kick. Probably, I would assume now, around the 5-minute mark still to go. Can't imagine a ton of stoppage time. It's still only a 1-goal margin, so you certainly don't want to write it off at this stage, but the Seneca Sting are going to need to produce something very special here if they're going to get on equal terms. Now going to have a substitution for the Humber Hawks, as Abdulaziz Babawale will make his way off the park, entering Santiago Muniz. Babawale's been a bit quiet in the second half. He was a little bit more busy in the first half, but he certainly put in a shift today for his squad.
Muniz came on as a sub in that semi-final win for Humber.
Corner taken short. It's going to be a bit of a scrap over there by the corner flag, and it'll go the way of the Seneca Sting. Corner flag in pieces on the turf.
I mean, ultimately, Humber's done what they needed to do out there, but they've been made to work hard. And when you look at some of their dominant performances, they're going to look back in this and they're going to know they've been in a battle.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's tough to say when they win and it's in the gold medal game, but it's probably been their least convincing of their performances, hasn't it?
I mean, I would say so.
But sometimes even the good teams find a way to win, even when they don't play at their best. So you could also say that as well.
That's the mark of a champion. Yeah, it's like the mark of a champion is winning when you're not playing at your best. And I think Michael Aquino would be one of the first to admit that wasn't the best performance from his team today. And again, a lot of the credit for that has to go to the Sting. But for whatever reason, they just didn't get that front three really clicking. And you mentioned Luca Uccello. He's not been a factor today. Damien Kay on the ball just now hasn't really been a factor either. And it's only when they started to get Cadell Thomas going a little bit in the second half that they started to really be a bigger threat to the Sting.
Deep throw-in. In no rush to take that is Di Bartolo. Good win there by his opposite number 7, Joshua Allegria. Here comes the substitute, Muniz. He's going to try and just take it to the corner flag. He's going to get a two-hander from Abdul Latif. It's good play there. It'll be a deep throw in the way of the Humber Hawks. About 4 minutes on the clock there, I believe, Michael, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I would say we are now into the last 5 minutes of this championship game.
And the Seneca Sting, they got to get the ball out of their end. It might have to be Hail Mary time, and they might just have to throw some numbers forwards, because whether they lose 2-1 or 3-1, it all looks the same on the result.
You've got to go for it now. I want to get a corner. We see everyone going up, including the keeper. There would be your story. Gurrieri goes up, heads home the 120-minute equaliser to go to spot kicks, has the winning saves in the penalty shootout. I've got it all written.
I like your story, Michael.
Yes.
You're a good crafter. You're a real page master.
Yeah, I'm sure the Humber fans have loved my commentary this afternoon. And I'm sorry if it has come across a little bit skewed towards Seneca, but always a fan of the underdogs.
Ooh,
there's a heavy challenge there.
It's Cadell Thomas who crunched his man. It's Abdul Latif who
I don't think is on a booking. I think he's one of the few that isn't.
Yeah, and Abdul Latif he's a tough customer, so he got right back up after that one, but it was a cynical challenge. Thomas now cuts back to his left foot. He's just going to go to the corner flag. Abdul Latif, though, just shrugs him off. I beg your pardon, it's actually Atif Ali.
Oh, yeah, he's been a good battler this week as well. We'll keep an eye on the final whistle as well. There's a red card brandished in the bronze medal match for something that was said to the referee. I just have a feeling we could see one brandished at the end of this one as well.
Well, I won't finish your sentence for you, Michael, but as that was happening, Cadell Thomas got booked for time wasting, so he's now in the books. The hat trick is complete. Seneca Sting need to get this ball moving forward. Time is of the essence, but they're struggling to just get it out of their own end at the moment. Good job by Abdul Latif. Gets past one, gets past two. Where's a healthy hep check? And that'll be a yellow card again, this time for the man who just came on, Muniz.
I think it was Damien Kay that got that, actually, the number 9.
I beg your pardon? Either way, it was a healthy hip check.
It was a big challenge. He just disappeared under our view of the dugout.
Yeah, he just backed the big old keister right into him. And it was an ugly tackle. It's Abdul Latif, who once again has been beaten up, but just kept going in this one. This is going to be the long...
I mean, we're heading into the last minute now of extra time, and they just have to get this one forward.
Long ball forward from Gurrieri. Sultani's there. Ball flicked over the top. Is there a man there? The keeper comes flying out knees high to protect himself there.
I tell you, Zameta had to get out well for that because he was under a little bit of pressure there from Othman.
Adam Othman has been a great player for Seneca this tournament. He's been full of vim and vigor. Elaine heads it back to his keeper. This will probably be the last kick at the can, you would have to assume, for Seneca.
Yeah, I think we're moving into the last 30 seconds. We had 5 minutes of time added on at the end of the first half of extra time. I don't think we'll be getting that in this.
Ball to the back post, controlled on the chest, falls down for Uccello. He tees up Cadell Thomas, who rips it over the net. That one almost landed on the roof of the Langley Events Centre.
Yeah, the ball comes in very quickly, but Gurrieri needs to get on with this here because there's not much time.
Just wonder if perhaps his goal kick isn't what he wants it to be as far as distance, so he's trying to
1 minute
help things
for
out.
Seneca Sting to force penalties.
Seneca, low, hard ball across the air. Attempt for the area, and that's going to be a foul on Abdul-Latif. That's a foul on Abdul-Latif. It's a crunching tackle from the number 21, McIntyre, and he'll get a yellow card, which I believe was his first foul of the game.
Yes, you get a yellow card. You get a yellow card. Well, this is set up for a grandstand finish.
Gurrieri is asking, should I make my way up there? They said, get in there, son.
Why even ask? It's like you've got to get up there, Anthony Gurrieri.
If I'm
Although
Gurrieri,
he's not, though. He's still looking at the bench, and the bench are telling him, get up. But now he's still not going up.
If I'm the coach, I'm sending Gurrieri. There's nothing to lose here at the moment.
We're already 2 men down. It's like this is going to be the last action of it. We've got like 15 seconds of the time added on. So after the second phase of this, it's going to just be full time.
Ball chipped into the area. It's headed down. Othman was the closest to it. Did it come out? It looked like it's a corner kick, but they're pointing to the goal spot. It looked like the keeper may have got a touch there. That will be the full-time whistle, and the Humber Hawks emerge victorious in the gold medal game. But this one will certainly have some controversy and certainly have some talking points around it. The final score is 2-1. Humber prevail in the Battle of Ontario.
I mean, we were hoping for a good final. We got a good final. I don't think it was the kind of final we were thinking we were going to get in terms of being a good final. But, I mean, you've had, and Patrice Guys are making his way over to the referee here. We'll just keep a little eye on this one. The referee not even making eye contact with him just now. And there is the red card to Patrice Geyser. I think
only a yellow?
No, it's a red.
Oh, he gave him a red?
Yep.
Oh,
I mean, it was going to happen. It's getting a little bit out of hand out there just now. People are having to get pushed away from the officials.
They might want to get the referees a bit of an escort out of here, because there are some angry fans, mostly wearing Seneca shirts, let's be honest here. But
I got a message in the extra time there that we believe the referee is from Ontario, so he's going to know these teams and players very well. But he's just quickly making his way off the pitch here, and I mean, don't let any of that take away from Seneca.
Certainly not, or from the Humber Hawks, who still had a job to do.
Yeah, let's give some credit here to Humber Hawks, because they're still going on to anyone that will listen down there.
Yeah, Seneca is not going away meekly into the night on this one. They're going to have their voices heard, and I don't want to once again take the steam off of this Humber Hawks championship, because they've deserved it over the course of 3 matches, but you certainly feel where Seneca is coming from here, because the match was altered by some of the decisions made by the referee here today.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get away from that, but let's look at the positives, and let's not take away from Humber's moment in the sun, which I'm just having a look. There is a player down for Seneca. I don't know if it's just that he's absolutely distraught or if he's taken a knock. But yeah, Humber Hawks, their 9th national title. They've won 7 of the last 10. Head coach Michael Aquino, this is his 9th year in charge. 6 national championships he's delivered in those 9 years. I mean,
very good record. Very good record.
And 6 provincial titles as well. And I mean, they've been absolutely dominant. They've won 10 of the last 12 Ontario provincials. You throw the words around in sport over here about dynasty a lot. This is a dynasty.
I think he fits the criteria there.
This whole Humber team, they are absolutely phenomenal. There's so many. I mean, there's players with experience. Luca Acello's come throrough the TFC Academy.
Who, by the way, will join us here post-match. I'm hoping before the ceremonies here, but the number 10 will join us here. Not his shiningest moment as far as a personal performance, but definitely one of the star players entering this tournament. So he'll join us,
I mean, like, capping off an absolutely tremendous year. You can have kind of a little Italian chinwag if you want, but
Michael, I'm deferring to you. The color commentator always does the interviews, my man, and I know you've got all the resume of Mr. Uccello. I will
practice my Italian then.
There you go.
But no, he maybe not today, but he has been absolutely excellent for the Humber Hawks all season. Cadell Thomas, as I mentioned, 2 years experience in the CPL. He's now a rookie, and he's won 2 CPL championships. He's won 1 CCAA title now as well. You've got so much talent here, and you've got to wonder, this Humber Hawks side, can they keep them all together? Are there going to be some of the bigger universities coming in? Is there going to be some maybe CPL interest in some of these players? Because when we were talking earlier to Mark Rizzardo, the Langara coach, there's been interest from CPL teams in some of his players out here, and Langara with the number 2 team ranked nationally, Humber number 1 ranked all year. And I mean, it's been absolutely phenomenal. The question now kind of comes, is there anyone that can stop this Humber side?
Keep talking, Michael.
We're just planning some of the closing ceremony events here as all the medal players are coming on, the teams are coming on. It's been an absolutely fantastic closing ceremony. It's been an absolutely fantastic national. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic.
We haven't seen the dance show
ceremony
yet. They have the streamers and the dancers coming out.
Yes, I'm one of the dancers. I need to quickly get down there.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, Michael, 2 things here, just because I love this kind of banter, and I find everyone's opinions are always different based on what games you call or you've had the opportunities to watch. But give me your player of the tournament, and over the course of it, give me your team of the tournament. I'm not saying pick out the exact 11, one player per team, but who over the course of this tournament you said, okay, that's a team I really like watching and could invest in, and who's a player you thought, you know what a player, maybe not had been on the best cohesive team, but really showed personally what he was about?
I mean, for the team, I've enjoyed watching the Trojans. The games of theirs that I've taken in have been very enjoyable to watch. They're unlucky to be coming away from this without a medal, and Billy Bagiopoulos, I would say as well, is the...
We're just going to get our post-match player, the goal scorer. Federico Leal will pass over the headset here shortly. Mr. McCall, I'm going to let you rag the puck until we get Mr. Leal set up here.
Yes, I know. I was expecting a different player now. So we do have the winning player about to come up. Corey is just passing over his headset here. We're just getting everything set up, so... Congratulations, Federico. I won't keep you too long. I won't draw you away from these celebrations, but how are you feeling just now? It's another national title for these Humber Hawks.
Yeah, the feeling never gets old. Honestly, it's my last year, so there's no fucking better... Excuse my language. There's no better way to finish it. Great group of guys. We're a family, so... Just happy to do this for my brothers. Yeah, I mean, you've got a couple of national championships to your name. That was one hell of a battle out there, and we won't go into more of the controversial moments, but your team looked down and out, and then you still fought to the end, and then you had what it took to do it at the end of first half. Talk us through that winning goal. What did you see about that? Honestly, it's all about resiliency. These moments happen all the time, whether it's against us or for the other team, and there's always red cards, always a lot of adversity, but you got to fight right through it, and in the end you got to believe you're going to score, and it's going to happen, and that's exactly what happened. I will say congratulations. I will not keep you anymore. I want you to go and enjoy with your teammates. You've had a great college career. Well done going out on a high, and congratulations to everyone at Humber Hawks. All right, thank you very much. Thanks, Federico. Federico Leal there, the match-winning goal scorer.
Sorry about the swerve ball there, Michael. We were expecting a Luca Uccello, but we had to pull a quick turn there, as I believe maybe Uccello might be receiving a Player of the Tournament award. Or no, we actually have the awards going on just below us. So it's going to be Gurrieri who gets the MVP for his squad in that final. And I believe it was Medeiros who's going to get it for the Humber Hawks. Interesting decisions. Yeah, I mean, there's been a few of these that I haven't agreed with, but that's football. It's a game of opinions. And not everyone will have agreed with our opinions over the course of these 4 days, I'm pretty sure. What I would say, though, is when you're looking at the players, you asked who stood out. Obviously, Billy Bagiopoulos. I was going to say the same thing. Fantastic for VIU, and VIU may not have medalled, but 6 goals. He's going to be the tournament leading scorer. Yeah. And I just enjoyed watching St. Trojans play. I think you stole all my picks, man. I was going to say I really liked how the Trojans played, and I really like Billy Bagiopoulos. But I have also got to say the first 2 games that I called from Humber, the football that they played was absolutely phenomenal, and it's above a level that I think many people would expect at this level of college soccer. This is definitely a school. There's been a number of schools over the years that's moved on from CCAA into U Sports.
and I'm not pushing Humber Hawks to go and do that, but yeah, they play a great brand of football.
I want to give a big shout out to everybody involved here at the CCAA Men's National Soccer Championships. First, the clubs, the Vancouver Island United Mariners of Nanaimo, the Holland Hurricanes of Charlottetown PEI, the silver medal winning Seneca Sting of Toronto, the Nomads de Montmorency of Laval, Quebec, your bronze medalists, the Humber Hawks, victorious as the gold medalist, Les Rouges de Saint-Boniface of Manitoba, the hosts, Langley Falcons, who I'll give an extra little kudos to their grounds crew here, including Sean Shook and everyone making it happen logistically behind the scenes. So well done to everyone there from Langley. And also the South Alberta Institute of Technology Trojans. My name is Corey Basso, your play-by-play man. That's Michael McCall, color commentator. Big shout out to our camera girl, Jillian, who did a fantastic job, and yes, she still has a heating pad on under her jacket. Not like anything I've ever seen from a live production crew before, but she goes the mile. Well done, Jillian. And a big congratulations to all our medalists today. The Humber Hawks on their gold medal victory, the Seneca Sting on their silver medal, and the Nomads de Montmorency on their bronze medal as well. It's been a scintillating tournament at the CCAA Men's National Soccer Championships. We wrap it up for one more year here, live from Willoughby Park in Langley, BC. Once again, your home for the 2022 CCAA Men's National Soccer Championships. Thanks for watching.
So we're back at Willoughby Field. We are just going to stay with the ceremony here and just do a little bit of chat over it. It's hard to fully hear up here what is happening, but we are going to be getting to the presentations very, very soon. We're just going through the Tournament All-Stars. It's the CCAA Men's Soccer National Convener David Monroe and Langara College Director of Student Engagement and Athletics Jake McCallum with the awards here, and I'll just run through who the Tournament All-Stars are. The goalkeeper is Seneca's Anthony Gurrieri. For Humber, defender number 5 Alec Mczarski. For Seneca, defender number 19, Aaron Toniolo. For Humber, forward number 10, Luca Uccello. For Seneca, number 21, Francisco Thomas Seros. For the St. Trojans, it is Nicholas Gonzalez. For Montmorency, Lise Yasmin. And also from Montmorency, Ibrahim Chami. For Humber, number 9, Damien Kay. Number 8, the championship match winner, Federico Leal. And for Vancouver Island University, it's number 10, Vasily Bagiopoulos. Federico Leal just getting his award there. Getting the announcement now. It's the most valuable player, and we did wonder who might get it, and the player that I had in mind as winning this was the Seneca goalkeeper Anthony Gurrieri. 2 big wins in penalty shootouts for Gurrieri, a couple of big saves in that huge first quarter-final win over Montmorency. Big save at the vital spot kick as well in that semi-final that's taken them through into the final today. Heartbreak for Anthony Gurrieri. He came within seconds of having a clean sheet this afternoon in the championship game. Little consolation for him as you see the 11 winners lining up just now. So just to go through them again: Anthony Gurrieri from Seneca, Alex Mczarski from Humber, Aaron Toniolo from Seneca, Luca Uccello from Humber, Francisco Thomas Seros from Seneca, Lise Yasmin from Montmorency, Nicholas Gonzalez from St. Trojans, Vasilis Billy Bagiopoulos from VIU Mariners, Damien Kay from Humber Hawks, Ibrahim Chami from Montmorency, and Federico Leal from the Humber Hawks. Our tournament MVP Anthony Gurrieri, and we're now moving on to the medal presentations. To present the medals for the 2022 CCAA Men's Soccer National Championship, it's going to be CCAA Board Representative Brian McLennan and Director of Student Engagement and Athletics here at Langara, Jake McCallum. We're starting with the bronze medal winners, and it's Nomads du Collège Montmorency. Fantastic performance from the Quebec side. Lost their first game, and a tough one it was as well for them, but they bounced back well, won their bronze quarter-final, won their bronze semi-final, and today in an absolute battle, coming through with a big win over St. Trojans in extra time to claim the bronze medal. It's Montmorency College's first medal at a CCAA National Championship. Congratulations to everyone, all the players, staff and coaching staff involved with that programme. Next we will have the presentation of the silver medals. The wildcard team in the tournament from Ontario, Toronto's Seneca Sting. I'll just go through the Seneca roster. Everyone should be very proud of their performance these 4 days. They've been absolutely tremendous out there. Goalkeeper Anthony Gurrieri, Alex Medeiros, Delman Grewal, Stephen Janjicek, Atif Ali, Joshua Allegria, Imran Abdul Latif, Rashad Griffith, Alex Lewis, Peyman Sultani, Alex Ramirez, Frank William Andriacci, Marco Frangini Andrade, Matthew Smith, Adam Othman, Adel Adem, Aaron Tonolio, Jazeel Narona, Francisco Thomas Seros, Michael Pellegrini, Joel Allain, Tyler Cleghorn, Daniel Pitoko, Jaden Jerome, and head coach Patrice Geyser. Well done to Seneca Sting, an absolutely fantastic performance and their 4th CCAA silver medal. We're just awaiting the gold medal and the trophy presentation as the Seneca Sting pose for some photographs. Just get everything set up now for the gold medal and the trophy presentation. And the gold medal winners of your 2022 CCAA National Championship, it is the Humber Hawks, getting their medals presented just now. Goalkeeper Holger Zameta, defender Keegan Wilson, defender Maceo Harrison, defender Isaiah Noel, defender Alex Miksarski, midfielder Osman Hussain, forward Abdul Aziz Babawali, midfielder Federico Leal, forward Damien Kay, midfielder Luca Acello, forward Cadell Thomas, midfielder Kofi Awua, midfielder Danny Medeiros, midfielder Santiago Munez, midfielder Cameron Heslop, defender Luca Pinto, midfielder Wahiz Rahimi, Midfielder Noah McIntyre. Midfielder Santino Di Bartolo. Midfielder Sebastian Delgado. Goalkeeper Ezequiel Carrasco. And goalkeeper Anthony Arruda. That's all the players on the Humber Hawks squad for this season. Big congratulations to them, and to head coach Michael Aquino, assistant coaches Jason Mesa, Alessandro Sabatini, Dominic Lentil, soccer coordinator Ricardo Fonseca, and team manager Mario De Lucia. The Humber players just enjoying their medals just now ahead of the trophy presentation. We're going to get the banner presentation now, and CCAA Men's Soccer National Convener David Monroe, CCAA Board Representative Brian McLennan will now present the championship trophy and the banner to the 2022 CCAA Men's Soccer National Champions for the 7th time in 10 seasons. It's the Humber Hawks. And the Hawks will celebrate deep into the night. Back-to-back champions, 7 times in 10 years. What an absolute tremendous performance by Humber Hawks. What a team, what a squad. A lot to be proud of. Can anyone stop them in 2023? Only one way to find out, and that is to tune into next year. Congratulations and thank you again to the teams, officials, sponsors, volunteers and spectators who have made the CCAA National Championship an unforgettable event. Thanks to Corey Bassel for sharing the commentary duties with me this week. I am Michael McCall from aftn.ca. If you want to check out our stuff all year round, you can do so on there, and check out our podcast as well. Thank you for being with us all week long. Have a good rest of the year, and we'll see you in 2023 for some more soccer.